Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
So evidently I fucked up all of our social media shit when I posted it, but when I listened to it back, it had sound unless I hit something incorrectly.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you.
No sound anywhere.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yep.
It's out there, though. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. It's a Friday night, so I'm tired. It's been a long-ass week, but let's knock this out real quick.
Yep.
Little housekeeping. CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday nights on Facebook. I think 7 Central, but I'm not 100% sure.
No telling.
But he's going to be on here, I think, 2 weeks. And then you have Troy and Trevor with the Two Brothers podcast, and Trevor also has the Trevor Jackson podcast. And at some point tonight, we may be competing with him and them Jackson boys.
They'll win, even though we're way fucking cooler than
him and his nephew, and I guess other nephew, Jack, and then Easy from last week.
Yep.
Redneck News Entertainment has the Redneck Review podcast with Cody and Quint. Andy Harris, as at the Andy Harris on Twitter, friend of the show, guest of the year for 2020.
Yep.
We also have T-shirts and stickers. I don't know what a sticker is, but we have T-shirts and stickers. And then go to b3fpodcast.com.
Yeah, man.
Go to the link that says tell us what you really think and anonymously rate and review each of us individually and the show.
Yep.
And next week we have some friends of our video producer, director, whatever you want to call him, Gabe. Some friends of his. I cannot remember their names right now, but they do a podcast called Real Fear Podcast.
Yep. Where
they watch a horror movie with their guest and just commentate. It's very Mystery Science Theater, I think.
And supposedly,
yeah.
We're going to be on theirs at some point.
We will at some point, yes, but they're going to be on here next week.
We've heard that before.
We have heard that before. We will see. But they're going to be on with us next week, and then we will be drinking Bacardi and Coke at their request.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's Bacardi and Coke at their request.
Well, I will be drinking Bacardi and Coke.
Right.
But they will not be mixed together in my fucking glass because fuck that shit.
What are we drinking tonight?
Tonight, I've actually been looking forward to this all week.
Do you want ice?
Yeah. No, not for the bourbon. It is Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, blend of bourbon whiskeys, very small batch. And I did pull up a little bit of the, because there's nothing written on the bottle, and I didn't want to go super into it, but it's interesting to me because it's like not just a gimmick, it's a legit thing.
Right.
And Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, a boat is singularly uncommon place to age a bourbon, but inspiration struck Trey on the deck of his friend, whatever the fuck anyway. They were watching the reserve bourbon rock gently in the bottle on a shipment. They wondered how it would age in the bow of a ship. Anyway, so they put the shit in the barrels, send it out on voyages, which each bottle is labeled with the voyage that it was on. Right. And then supposedly it gives it a unique flavor. I don't know. It might be fucking awful. But I'm excited. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not a bourbon guy, but we'll see. And then do me a little in that because I'm going to have a little of it straight just to see.
Okay. So how was your week, dude?
It was a long week at work. It's like everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Dude, it was like putting one fire out after another.
It was the whole week.
Yeah.
So, here is to a long fucking week.
Cheers.
And recording on a Friday.
It's not bad.
I don't feel like there's much anything there.
Really?
It was very hollow, very empty.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as rich as I was hoping it would be. I don't think it was hollow.
It was very empty.
Really?
Like as soon as it touched my tongue, it was like hot water.
Interesting. I don't find it to be that bad.
Yeah, I definitely don't like it.
Okay.
But I don't hate it. But whatever.
It's overpriced for what it was.
Sure.
It does have a kind of a hollow middle to it.
Okay.
But the after flavor's not bad.
Yeah.
You don't like
Would it piss you off? I just poured Coke right into that.
I don't give a shit. It's a little briny for me. I mean, that's lack of a better word.
Sure.
Anyway, whatever.
So
it's the first time we have been all by our onesies in
it's been a while.
Quite some time.
I wonder if I can find that.
Which
quickly.
means it's going to be one of the worst episodes that we've,
Probably, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, yeah, it was a long week. Like you said, like putting out one fire after another.
Dude, it was just an absolute fucking shit show at work for me.
The March 1st episode was episode 83, so exactly 10 episodes ago.
10 episodes? What?
Yeah.
And that seems not like
10 weeks.
Yeah, I say 10 weeks is what's the fucking crazy thing.
Yep.
There we go.
But yeah, it does feel like a long time since we've been alone. So anyway, if and no one's watching right now,
It
but
doesn't matter. Oh, so happy.
but yeah, we're ready to talk about anything tonight because
Well, I put the number out on the TikToks,
right,
and on some other things, so we might have
you went
strangers
silent
calling
film style on
just to be fucking assholes. See, this is the thing. Like, I don't think I did.
I mean, I've just tried to listen multiple times.
Hold on here.
It's turned all the way up on my phone. Sure. I mean, maybe it's just
That's
on here, but it's turned all the way up on my phone. This is plugged into the phone.
Yep.
And let's try it again. Maybe it just hadn't processed yet.
Maybe. Well,
So it may just be, I don't know. It may just be plugging into the phone like this because I did notice the first video that comes up on here has no sound
see,
either. So.
I didn't fuck it up, you asshole.
Well, whatever.
Trying to be all accusatory.
No.
So anyway.
Anyway.
Yes.
Dogecoin going to the moon, baby. Going to the moon.
Elon Musk is our savior. He's
the Doge father.
That shit. My a buddy of mine at work, he invests and he's been investing in crypto for a little bit, and he's doing pretty good with it this year.
Yeah.
Not as good as when he had a guy that he knows with the Doge that bought it when it was like less than like a cent, whatever, and bought like a fuck ton of it. And
I think Gabe and Matthew, both of my boys, I wouldn't say they bought a fuck ton, but they bought a lot. I bought in at 4 cents.
Yeah.
So
but I think he dropped like $500 when it was under, when it was under a cent, and just so much money right now.
I mean, it's at 69 cents a coin right now, and I mean, I don't know. It's not a lot.
Every now
what I've made doesn't change my life, but it does make me feel good.
Right. Every now and then, it's cryptocurrency is such a funny thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bitcoin, it makes a little more sense to me because it's kind of established itself as an actual type of currency you can use in certain situations. But like Dogecoin, it was
a meme coin, like 2013, whenever they
and all it's done, I think there's like one place that you can actually use it as a currency. Otherwise, it's just
where's that one place?
Maybe I don't remember.
I know that Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks NBA basketball team, they accept it. You can buy tickets,
and then maybe that's the one I heard about. But there's like nobody takes it as its own.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's a joke. It literally.
But at first, no one took Bitcoin either. At first,
right? But but it literally started as a.
Got to get that Dogecoin on the Silk Road, guys.
Oh, Jesus. I don't understand. And that's part of me getting old, I think, is because like people were started talking about cryptocurrency and shit like that. And like I get it, like the concept behind it, but it's fucking stupid and it's convoluted and like it takes I don't know, like
my dad bought some Bitcoin back several years ago.
Yeah, I mean it's
not
worth
a lot,
fuck ton if you have like any whole fucking Bitcoins.
Well, like in 2011 or 2012, so before we moved to Knoxville, Gabe was hearing about Bitcoin, and he at the time was like going to take an old computer that we had and mine Bitcoin with it, and he never did. But for Christmas that year, he had wanted to ask us to buy him a Bitcoin, and it was like $250 for one Bitcoin.
You have so much money right now.
I know it would. I mean, he would have $57,000.
Yeah,
it was one coin, but yeah, sure. But he didn't because he thought they'll never buy me a Bitcoin, and I would have made Christmas shopping for him so much easier.
Right.
But yeah, he didn't ask for it. So
that's crazy. It's so funny. I mean, I guess that's part of like future thinking bullshit is that type of thing because I didn't take it fucking seriously. I was like fucking cryptocurrency, fucking whatever.
Right.
Like again, I understand the concept behind it and it makes sense, but it's ridiculous that you can essentially just make a cryptocurrency and that's. Nobody has to accept it like Dogecoin, and it just exists, and people fucking.
It does. I mean, so
it's insane. It's.
Have you heard about Pi?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can mine Pi on your phone now, and it really doesn't drain your battery or anything. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a
pyramid.
It's a pyramid scheme that you make no money off of.
Right.
I mean, well, right now they make no money off of is what I'm saying, but. The hope for them is that enough people is in it that they take it public by the end of this year or early into next year, and then it would be worth something. Right. So the way I look at it is once every 24 hours, I hit a little button on my phone, and that's all. If that's all I'm out and it's never worth anything, who cares? That's all I'm out.
Yeah, and I haven't done enough research and reading to intelligently do anything with it, and because it's something I blew off like back whenever,
Yeah.
first started hearing about Bitcoin, and now it's kind of everybody's talking about this shit right now. And I'm like, I still don't care. Like, a part of me wants to care because I like easy money.
Sure.
And I'm like, if I would have just taken $100 and just consider the fact that I'll never have this $100 again.
Sure.
Because I waste so much money on other shit.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that stupid. I'll just,
Yeah.
God damn it.
There's a guy at
Just
work.
to chalk it up to another one of
like-
my great decisions.
Yeah,
in my
there's
life.
there's a guy at work who's the senior manager of the area. He's not my manager, but he is the senior manager of where the building that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years older than me, but he's like out of touch with meme culture and all of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And he keeps calling it Doja Coin is what he calls it all the time. But he put like a couple $100 in it
Yeah.
3 months ago when I put some money into
Right.
it. So like every day when he comes into work, because we sit about 30 feet apart, and every day when he comes in, he's like, see Doja Coin this morning? It's up again. I'm like, hell yeah, to the moon, buddy. and there's two other guys in there that never would take our advice and get on it. And
Right.
every day, like right before I was leaving work today, the guy was like, is it 65 cents right now? And I was like, hell yeah. And I looked and I was like, all right, I've made $80 today.
Right.
And the other guy just stood up at his desk and looked at both of us and was like, fuck you guys. I can't believe I didn't do it. I know you had 3 chances, man.
I like to subtly irritate people and call it Dogecoin.
So that we have a group text between like me and my wife and the kids. Like if there's something that everyone needs to know, hit that group text, and that's kind of that's it.
Yeah,
But
I hate group texts. I don't care who they're with. I hate them
yeah,
so much.
it depends on who they're with for me. Like I have one between my siblings right now because we're trying to make the vacation plans and things like that. But we also make fun of Will on it too. But
Well, it upsets me because unless it's an all iMessage group, you can't remove yourself from it. So you can delete.
yeah, you're right.
You can delete that shit.
Sure.
Because like my family,
It does
will send a
suck.
group
Yes,
text
that
and it
does
comes in,
suck.
so I'll delete that shit and then I get another one. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
Because
that
it's
does
so
suck.
hard for me with my family not to antagonize.
you should just do it. Just
Yeah, but
be you, man. Be who the Lord made.
that's the problem I have. So, all right,
If
go
they
ahead.
say something, just tell them you're made in God's image.
Right, Jesus Christ.
No, his image too. But
Yeah.
but my boys brought in a lot on the Dogecoin. So every couple of days, when it spikes, they'll text like a screenshot of where it's at because they know that I bought into it and my wife bought into it.
Right.
And so they send that text, whatever, and I always just reply with like memes. It's like diamond hands to the moon or whatever. That's why, like on Twitter, Hunter was texting me about it because he was said something about Dogecoin, and I was like, yeah, I bought in a little bit or whatever. We were texting, and then it spiked, and when it started to drop again, he sold all of it.
Right.
Except for like $20 he had. But he sold every bit of it. And then now it's like doubled again where it's at. And so he posted something on Twitter about, I can't believe I got out of Dogecoin. And that's when I replied to him, you paper-handed bitch. So, yeah, I'm 40. Who cares?
Right. That doesn't matter. I don't know. Like for the last probably 5 to 8 years, I've been like, yeah, I should do some stocks. I should invest some shit and whatever. And then I'm always like, yeah, but I have to put in the effort to learn about it and then to do some research.
You just got to hire somebody, Edward Jones rep or somebody,
Yeah,
and
no.
let them do it. Why? That's where you make your money. Someone that's studied and done it for years and
so.
years.
But then I have to give them part of that. Yeah.
A little bit, sure. A little bit.
Yeah, but you have Robinhood, right?
Sure.
I know. I'm just saying,
Robinhood.
like, but you know me well enough. Like, the shit like that, I can't just do blind. Like, I have
I
to
get
know
it.
what's going on, and it's so much effort to me to learn about it. I'm like, nah, fuck it, it's fine.
Right.
But I probably have a little bit of money right now. Had I, done the things I think I should do from time to time. But
Hey, if you promote it on Emperor Pod, you'll get views.
and fuck those cunts, man. They are always on this shit.
I know.
I did a big old group blast
I
on
know.
those
I saw
assholes the
that.
other day.
Yeah.
Fucking
Somebody's been group blasting, tagging us into group blast comments on other photos at somewhere.
Really?
A couple of times here and there. Yeah. But
Jesus
whatever.
Christ.
Anyway. So. Yeah.
So there's this news article I found. I'm not doing the news, but
Sure.
I want your opinion on it. And
Okay.
I couldn't find the article before that episode, but the article was talking about how Gen Zers or Zoomers,
So
as they're being called now,
who's that? What age group is that?
like
Gen Z.
high school, college age right now, I think is Gen Z. Because it's because Gen Y is almost adults now, I think, or like in their 20s and shit. So,
Okay.
I don't know. But Gen Z is anyway.
No, I don't think there is a Gen Y anymore. I think they replaced that with millennial, didn't they?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can look it up if you want. But
No, I'm just gonna.
I think Gen
depending
Y.
on where you look,
I think Gen
gives
Y
you different answers.
is.
I can't.
Yeah, because unless millennials and Gen Y are the same, that's what I get confused about.
I think that's what it is. That they just finally started calling Gen Y millennials.
Yeah, whatever.
Because technically, depending on where you look, you and I are millennials.
Yes.
But used to, we kind of fell right there in between.
Well, I heard
X
a cool
and Y.
term the other day that I'd heard, and they called it Xennials, just X-ennials.
Yeah.
And it was somebody that fell on the cusp between Gen X and millennials and still had like the original, like the analog background, rotary phones and all that shit.
I thought it was like Latinx, Xennials.
No,
I got you.
Xennials.
Okay.
And so you had to all the like the Gen X shit in your childhood, right? But then but your first cell phones and shit started happening around like 18 to 20, and
Sure.
like so you made that migration. So
Yeah.
you kind of are right in the literally right in the middle of the two. And I was like,
I had a pager in high school.
yeah, I got my pager at 17. Yeah.
I think I was 16 or 17 as well. My grandmother bought it for me.
Yeah, but that's when I was like, okay, I can accept that label more than just straight,
Sure.
millennial, because I don't understand it, because there is such a mindset difference between the two. Anyway, whatever the new young generation that's late high school and early college is bringing back, or I should say bringing back, they're revamping ska and emo.
Revamping ska and
Bringing
emo.
it back, their own version of it. That's what I was told.
It's
They're
not going to
bringing
be
it
a
back.
good version.
But I'm saying that was my thought. I was like, what? It never really.
Where
went
can I
away.
listen to some of this revamped ska?
I don't revamp,
and Evo?
but that's just the term. In other words, it's a resurgence. Everything comes
okay.
back around.
Okay.
It's like that. It's starting to trend again. Emo kids and fucking ska music, which
Okay.
to me, ska's never died. It's always been deep in my heart.
Sure, I get it.
Because dude, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones dropped a new record today.
I did not know that.
It's pretty solid. I was talking to Don about because Weezer's new album, Van Weezer, also dropped today.
Yeah, I did know
And
that, but I haven't heard it
He's
yet.
been pissing all over me today about it.
Of course. I'm going to assume he doesn't like it, or is he just faking like he doesn't like it because it bothers you?
Probably both. I mean, he gave me a legit rating for him. He said it's a 5 out of 10, and I think it's a top 5, top 6 record anyway.
Okay.
So, definitely not up to whatever, but I was telling him, for me, what Weezer does is they've been at it long enough that they don't give a fuck, and they do whatever they want. But like each album, like there's only like 4 albums that are like true, quote unquote, traditional Weezer, right?
Sure.
Which is Blue, Pinkerton,
Yeah.
Green Album, and the White Album. Those are all like the quintessential like
Yeah.
Weezer sound, Weezer records.
Yeah.
After that, each album kind of accomplishes what it was meant to accomplish, I think.
Okay.
In its own fucking right, except for the Teal album, which is the most Weezer cover album that could ever exist. I
Sure.
know you weren't big on it. I absolutely fucking loved that goddamn
Yeah,
record.
because I don't know. They feel like too much like the originals with Rivers' voice.
And crunchy guitars.
A little bit, sure. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, did you know that Pet Sounds is considered like the first, if not one of the first emo records?
Is it?
Yeah, which is fucking stupid.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I knew that at one point, like, Weezer was called, like, the Godfathers of
Yeah, the Godfathers of emo.
Yeah.
Well, because of Pinkerton.
Sure.
Yeah. Which
But,
that actually brings me to one of the things I brought to the table tonight.
Is it?
It's a WikiHow article.
Okay.
Because, like, emo culture for us, right? There are a lot of emo kids.
Yeah.
They were a little younger than us. Most, like, when emo was really hitting hard, we were probably in our late 20s, early 30s.
It depends on what you consider emo, because I considered early Dashboard Confessional emo.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And we were in our late teens, early 20s.
Okay, so 20s, I guess. And
Yeah.
then, like, you had, like, the used.
Sure. And
Taking Back
and
Sunday.
that fell into the category that I used to hear at the time called Screamo.
Yeah, no, it's still emo.
Well,
it's
I understand
it's a
that.
subgenre.
It's a subgenre. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, to me, like, emo got really, really big, and like there was some emo that existed, but
Sure.
the big movement into a lot of like the popularity of it was
What going into mainstream was the bands like The Used and Taking Back Sunday.
right, and that's what I'm saying. So like mid 20s or mid 2000s, I should say, is probably when I would consider like the height of the emo
Sure.
movement. Anyway, WikiHow article on how to be emo.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ.
So there's 3 parts to this. First part is looking the part. So number one
How do you do that?
is you have to get an emo appearance. You start with getting emo-styled hair up until the mid-2000s. There is no real emo hairstyle. These days, emo hair usually refers to a particular layered haircut in which long bangs are swept and styled to one side, held in place by mousse, hair gel, or pomade. The color is mainly their original, but sometimes emo hair is dyed black and sometimes features a bright highlight of blonde or other, in italics, punky colors.
Punky colors. Like Punky Brewster?
Yeah. To get modern-day emo hair, start growing your bangs, but still getting cleanup cuts on the back of your neck. Pull the bangs over evenly across your eyebrow and use mousse, hair gel, or pomade. If you're female,
So I was in until they said pull it across your eyebrow. Because the front of my bangs are a little longer than the rest of my hair.
Yeah. Start wearing nail polish. Black is usually a popular color among emos.
Well, those punky colors?
Yeah. Don't be afraid to wear different colors or mix them either. To get makeup, start using liquid or pencil eyeliner. Don't be afraid to apply the waterline. Experiment with this will only make you better. Consider getting piercings. Snake bites and septum rings are common piercings among the emo community. If you're old enough, contemplate getting one of them.
Interesting.
Part 2, dress in emo fashion. Start changing your wardrobe to include more garments involved with the emo subculture. In the beginning, there is no real fashion, but as it moved towards the mainstream, that's when skinny jeans and eyeliner became more popular.
Sure.
Vintage t-shirts and checkered shirts. Because the checkered shirts match well with band t-shirts, especially if they were black and white. Wear emo band shirts such as Rites of Springs, Moss Icon, Sunny Day Real Estate, or Armor for Sleep underneath them. Get thick horn-rimmed glasses. These are optional, but they were worn in the original emo course. Messenger bags, flat shoes like Converse or Vans, and accessories, things like bandanas or stripy socks, wristbands, studded belts, safety pins, fingerless gloves. Skinny jeans, but buy several pairs of black, blue, and even multicolored skinny jeans. And learn how to cuff your jeans.
So there's a lot of that shit that I did in high school, like in the punk rock phase.
Yeah, punk rock phase. Well, it bled over.
It did bleed over, sure.
All right, so number 3, make good friends with hoodies. Nearly all emo styles involve, one way or another, wearing a good old-fashioned hoodie. Cut a hole out for your thumb in the sleeves of your hoodies.
Of course. Someone told me that men are not allowed to do that because you're absolutely gay if you do that.
Yeah.
Or even if you get the ones that are made that way with the thumb hole.
Yep. Embrace androgyny. Style is largely similar between all genders. The haircuts, dress, and use of makeup tend to cross the genders, resulting in a distinctive and androgynous look. Okay, second main part, understanding emo. To be emo, you need to understand emo. So it helps to know your history on the subculture if you're claiming to be a part of it. In other words, don't be a poser. Contrary to mainstream belief, emo does not mean emotional and is a subgenre of hardcore punk and post-hardcore, standing for emotive hardcore, which is not fucking true. They have sources for that, but... Anyway, so they list some records to...
All right, what are the records? Is it anything I'm going to know?
Yeah, Beach Boys, 96 Pet Sounds, which is not... It's labeled the first emo album by some random fucking asshole. Minor Threat fan, despised the heightened violence of hardcore punk and informed Rites of Spring, known as the first emo band in 1984.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, there's Discord Records, talks about getting founded. Minor Threat member, eventually became a fan radio. Embrace, Rites of Spring again. And, know the subgenres of emo. Emo core, post-emo, indie rock. Oh my God. Emo pop, and screamo.
I feel like if I'm emo, I don't have the emotional capacity to memorize all of that.
Number 3, appreciate emo music. Not just know your emo history, appreciate the music. Number 4, tell the difference between emo and other subcultures. This is a very involved way just to, this is basically how to be a fucking poser. You want to be an emo?
It is, because I'm thinking, as you were reading off what to wear and whatever, my thought was just be emotional and just be an emotional shit. You'll eventually start dressing that way.
Yeah. My thought was like, if there's bands you like and you want to emulate, there you go.
Right. But there's no, to say that there are rules to what you need to wear or whatever.
Hold on.
Whatever.
Participating in emo culture. Final part. Go to shows. I'm good with that. Go to shows.
If you're not too busy crying to get there.
Yeah. Number 2, cultivate a creative persona. In other words, they value art. Learn to paint, make music, writing, and express yourself. Number 3, consider picking up an instrument. Part 4, make your own clothes.
What happened to cut yourself?
I was about to say the same thing. They never teach you how to. They never tell you how to fucking tie a noose.
Here's why
around your
there's
own goddamn neck.
zero respect for that article. Dashboard Confessionals mentioned nowhere.
Well, they might. I didn't read it that in depth. I didn't read every fucking word. It's goddamn long. So the Q&A, which is my favorite part of the WikiHow articles.
Yeah.
What should I do if my parents don't want me to be emo?
That's going to make you even more emo.
Right. Just take it slowly.
Welcome to the club.
Easing into the culture, fashion. Slowly start listening to music, dressing emo, and trying new hairstyles. If they give you issues, calmly let them know why emo music and culture is important to you. What do I do if people bully me for being emo?
Celebrate, because that's what being emo is all about.
You should tell someone, preferably an adult, and not necessarily bring it up with the bully, because the bully's trying to get a rise out of you. So, in other words,
Going and tattletailing is not emo.
no. Well, actually, it's very.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it's more go home and cry about it.
All right. One more. Do all emo kids need to wear black and act shy?
Yeah, actually, I think they do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But they left
Oh,
they
my
left out
God.
of proper razor blade techniques and
Sure.
self noose tying.
How to hide little cuts. Yeah.
Little band-aids.
Yeah. Jesus. If you just want to cut, but you want to dye, do it between your toes, because nobody sees that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I don't know how anyone could cut shit between their toes or finger webs.
I understand.
It's the worst thing ever.
Whatever.
No, I've heard that, but that would.
It's. I don't understand the. I was gonna say I don't understand the emo culture, but I guess I kind of get it a little bit. But I don't know. It's like all of these, especially these young people that get into these cultures, emo culture and things like that, and that are like, but it's the only thing that accepts me. Then turn around and reject everything that's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's the most insane thing at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we're as much like that, but we had some of that.
Sure, everybody goes through it.
Right.
But that's a whole group of people that's
one thing I find funny, though, right? Because when you enter into like any type of music subculture,
Sure.
right, is you get introduced to more bands and more music and all this stuff. But most of your look, like the emo culture, is based on bands that had already broken and gotten bigger at that point in time.
Sure.
And that's funny to me. It's like, you're part of this subculture that's actually based off of something that's moderately mainstream, but it's, your private
absolutely.
thing.
Well,
as you dig into it, you find more,
I mean, the Used and Taking Back Sunday, for example, were super mainstream.
Yeah. And I think, by the way,
And eventually Dashboard Confessional was pretty damn mainstream.
Yeah.
But,
I don't understand the love for Taking Back Sunday.
I really like a handful of their songs a lot.
Yeah.
But I never really got into that.
I think they were an absolute shit band. I think they have, like you said, they have a few tracks that are really good songs. Like, I'm not going to take that away from them, but as a whole, I don't think, and you can say this about a lot of bands, I guess.
Sure.
But if it wasn't for the place and time that they were in, I don't think they'd have had the same amount of success.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely say that about a lot of bands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never got into Take You Back Sunday. Like, they had a couple good songs, but the dude, I've never been able to handle people singing off key. And they're so off key on 90% of their fucking music, and it just grates me.
I got you.
Like, to me, part of being, and granted, there's something for everybody. Fucking Leonard Cohen, had an amazing writer. He couldn't sing.
Fucking
for
Yoko
shit.
Ono has fans.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, I get it. And Leonard Cohen's one of the greatest fucking writers of all time.
Yeah.
But he can't sing for shit.
Yeah.
But,
Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan. But Dylan, the fucking thing is Dylan can actually sing a little bit.
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't. Exactly.
Right. That to me, that's worse.
Yeah. But no, he doesn't have a great voice. But anyway, like, Taking Back Sunday, especially because, like, their screaming shit's fantastic. Like, they can scream like motherfuckers, and that's fine. But when they sing, and it's just like, even on the final, like, you're putting this product out to the world, and you're fucking flat and sharp all over the goddamn place. No, fuck you. Put effort into this.
That's more realistic.
No, it's not. I mean, it is, I guess. Because I guess I would be more pissed if I went to a live show, like, and they just were,
Right,
like, they
absolutely.
were terrible.
At least you're getting what,
You get you paid for, yeah.
get what you pay for, but still.
But still.
I don't know.
I guess I feel like that there should be a certain caliber that's required before you're, like, a successful musician. And And then I'd feel less shitty about not being a successful musician because I understand I wouldn't meet my own qualifications of being one. But one of those is like, I think you should have to be vocally talented to one degree or another. You don't have to be like fucking Whitney Houston, like running all over the goddamn place. But
Gotcha.
you know,
I was gonna say Reba, but all right.
or a Reba, right? No, like good voice. You should at least be able to play like an instrument of some kind.
Even if
you don't have to perform it. But
even if you can sing, you should have to be able to play an instrument.
Yeah.
You think so?
Goddamn Freddie Mercury could play piano, so fucking
sure, but so what?
You can take time to learn a goddamn instrument. Is all I'm saying.
What if you're perfecting your vocal instrument?
The reason fuck that. So the reason
I've never seen, and I'm not a huge Guns N' Roses fan,
right?
But I've never seen Axl Rose play an instrument. Maybe he can.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he can't, but
my point being
is
I feel like that if you could play an instrument, you appreciate the people that play in your band.
I will agree with you on that.
Right. And then, so to me, and you should at least be able to write your own shit. I'm not saying everything you play or sing has to be
So
written.
what about all those soul singers from the 60s and 70s that didn't play instruments?
How do you know they didn't play instruments?
We never saw them play an
Right.
instrument.
I guarantee you they could.
Maybe they
Not
could.
all. Not all.
I would guarantee you that almost all singers can play an instrument a little bit. Most.
No.
I bet they can. I bet most. I'm not saying all, but
Yeah.
almost all.
Maybe. But I'm saying, to me, those are the check boxes to
I got you.
To have a form of success.
Okay.
And I'm talking about like whatever.
So what if the instrument you play is a recorder that you learned in middle school?
If you can fucking rock that recorder, then fucking rock that
Oh, well,
recorder.
you didn't say rock it just a minute ago. You said to a degree. You have to be able to play to a degrry. What if they can play, Mary Had a Little Lamb or something?
Now you're just being an asshole.
Well, I'm just trying to point out that it's,
Let me rephrase it. You should be proficient on an instrument.
And I disagree. If you're singing and you are a good singer, then that can take the same amount of work and effort to learn an instrument to get your voice where it should be.
Yeah, it can.
So that's why I say like
But that's
Gloria Estefan, Madonna, things like that, who could sing. I'm not saying Madonna can't anymore. I've heard her recently, but Mariah Carey, I'd be willing to bet she can't play an instrument. But she can fucking sing.
But here's how I'm looking at this though, right? And I get what you're saying, and conceptually, yes. Like I feel like that people like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, that are just have these amazing fights, but they're so over the top good in those arenas that doesn't bother me as much. I'm talking about more of like when what we've seen in our older years of
Sure.
People that get out. Like I don't understand that level of success. I guess I'd make an exception if you were like exceedingly amazing at one of those things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's a scale. Like I'm spitting this as I go.
Exceedingly amazing is interesting though.
Yeah. Like enough to wash out the fact. Like if your vocals are so good that nobody gives a shit, that like it's just like
I can think of super popular historical major artists who I don't consider exceptional at any of their singing, instrument playing, or anything.
Okay, who?
Bob Dylan.
He's one
Great writer.
That's exceedingly amazing at one of the things. I said writing as part of.
Okay, I don't know that I consider him even exceedingly great at that. He's very good at it though.
Okay,
not exceedingly.
He's only
great.
one of the greatest writers, poets of like the last fucking.
But is that because of
years?
But is that back to what you said, like time and place?
No, because his writing is held up throughout the fucking millennium. I mean, it might have.
That's fine. I'm not a big Bob Dylan fan. I do like some of his stuff, but I'm just not a huge Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Dylan fan.
Especially when he comes on award shows and plays with 70 people playing guitar behind him. I'm like, you're hiding something.
No, I don't think I'm not a Dylan fan actually at all. But I will give him props, and like he's such a fucking prolific writer, and he always has been.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, granted, his early shit was probably straight off ripping off like Woody Guthrie and shit, but he came into his own. Point being, like, I feel like you should either have a little bit of all of them or like really, really like overwhelmingly amazing at least one of them.
Okay. That's fine.
Take You Back Sunday had none of that.
You don't think so?
They were a little good at all the things. They were really good at screaming, but not exceptional at screaming.
I mean, at least one of their guitar players is a very, very good guitar player.
Yeah.
You're talking about strictly the vocals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I think their music sounds great. I just don't dig every song of theirs. But their music sounds great. But I really do like some of their songs a lot.
Well, the thing about any type of music and art, though, right, is it's all so fluid and so customized to the taste of whoever's listening to it,
Sure.
right? And so I get that. So you really can't ever have a scale that says, okay, you cross 5 on these, so therefore here's your entrance to success. Like, I get
Sure.
it doesn't happen that way. I should say more, it really upsets me when somebody can be really talented or not talented and be more successful than someone that is.
Right.
And that shit
Sure.
pisses me off on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's
No, I
what that
get
that's what that
that
comes
that bothers me a lot.
and that's where I go, like, that's why I think I'm fair, right? Because if the bar is set here that's required to cross, I'm okay if I don't cross that bar if it also keeps all of these assholes from crossing the bar too.
yeah, but so many other things go into it, like looks
Oh, for sure.
and things like that. So
For sure.
I don't know.
For sure.
No.
Anyway, it
They
frustrates
can't
me,
all be Britney Spears, man.
right?
Looks, talent, songwriting,
Vocals.
just everything.
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever. I don't.
Oh, Jesus.
So you never really like, and I didn't really like what it did, but I did like some of the stuff in there. But like American Idol, you just hated that show because you
hated it
hated
so much.
someone just being handed the keys to
Right.
to music stardom.
Right. And I
like
understand that a lot of those guys had been, especially now, have been hustling on the side doing
Sure.
bar gigs. I get that.
Right.
But I shouldn't say half of them. But a lot of them that got kicked off had never fucking performed at
Sure.
all or done shit, and they just walk on. And I'm like,
I enjoyed the shit shows of American Idol.
Yeah.
I really did. I mean, I like to stop and stare at train wrecks, but but when The Voice came along, I really kind of got into that a little bit because I liked the fact that you couldn't see anyone. You were
Right.
strictly going off talent, and that they were allowed to play instruments as well
Right.
if they wanted to. So I really enjoyed that to an extent. I still don't like the thought of someone just being handed, but at least they're having to work harder at it.
yeah, no, I get that. But the thing is, like with The Voice, though, professional musicians or musicians that used to have a record deal and shit can still come on The Voice.
Absolutely, and I like that.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. I don't know. And I'm torn on that. Like, I hate the handed the keys to fame type of shit.
Sure.
But I do feel like that those shows, because they're game shows, they're fucking game shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and the way that they're pitched or shown, because all reality TV game shows, it's all fucking fake anyway.
Oh yeah, a lot of it gets cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, you got people that you don't know have been like all these crazy success, but they're a shoe-in for the win because they're way more talented than anybody else that's going to be there, at least for that part
Yeah.
of it. And honestly, I don't think the votes actually fucking count for any of that shit anyway.
You don't
for
think so?
America. Oh no, I think the winners picked well in advance, and you can always tell that. At least if you watch it, you can tell towards the beginning of the episode like which ones they hone in on as far as to tell their story.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
The problem with that is that there's so many legal things involved in that there's if it's going to be cooked and they're going to decide from the beginning who's going to win, there's a lot that has to go into that because legally,
Yeah.
like I mean, there have been
Well,
like big time stories about game shows that were cheating
yeah.
over the years and things like that.
yeah, and again, it depends on how they're labeled and how there's whatever legality is behind it. But like, I mean, I think that at least the top few are already selected, and they kind of because people are easily manipulated, right? And those that's why they do the little emotional cuts and all this shit to fucking sway people one way or the other and push votes and whatever
Sure.
the fucking else. Anyway, I hate all fucking reality like singing talent competitions.
Gotcha.
And a lot of it's my own bitterness, and I get
can
that.
see that.
And jealousy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I,
I'm fine with
but
that.
because if you thought you had a chance of winning, you'd go on one of those shows, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd sell out in a heartbeat if somebody came to
Sure.
me. It's like, you know what? Don't like any of the shit that you've written at all. But you know what? If you will do a fucking calypso record,
Yeah.
and you'll agree to wear this other shit, or hey, we're gonna put you in the top fucking polka band in the U.S. All you have to do is wear fucking lederhosen and like learn to play this accordion. I'd be like, fucking game on, dude.
I don't know that I can learn to play the accordion.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Or if they say you don't have to play it, you just have to mime it. You just
Yeah.
have to mime. You just be a fucking complete.
well, then
polka
you're not
poser.
performing really at that point. You're not even playing music. You're just standing
Neither
there.
is half
You're just
of
being
the
an
fucking
actor.
pop artists out there anyway. They're lip syncing for half their shows and shit anyway.
That they actually sing in the studio.
I'm just saying, if for all the work that I've done and tried to make music and do things creatively, yeah. Because if somebody came and was like, hey, yeah, if you just lip sing on stage and just wear this fucking leotard and like just play whatever we tell you to, you can have a tour bus and you can be paid to do this. I'd be like, okay, where do I sign up? Like, do I need to tape my sack back? Do I need to fucking lose a few pounds. Like I will starve myself for months and weigh I will drop to 80 pounds if it meant.
I don't know that you could get to 80 pounds.
No, my bones weigh more than 80
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't think you could get there.
I'm just saying, I'd go full Christian Bale and the Machinist
funny.
for a music career.
For music, but it's not a music career if you're just miming playing the accordion.
No, because then I can play my own music in my fucking tour bus while laying on $100,000 bills.
But you're still not getting rich off playing music. You're getting rich off acting.
Right, but I'm same thing as far as the amount of what you're getting rich for.
Right,
whatever.
I do not like this.
Okay, congratulations.
Every time I take a sip of it, I'm just like, God, I like it less.
And see, for mine, I don't not like it. It's not what I was hoping it would be. So I'm disappointed with it. Because this was it was 60 bucks
Jesus,
on the bottle?
dude. Who's watching us? I'd like to know who that is.
No, probably Amanda.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You ready for the next little bit?
I guess. It's as good as the WikiHow article.
Oh, this
I don't know how you're going to top that.
This is better. You know that was a good article. God damn it. Except you're way more emo than you like to admit. So this is songs that you and I grew up with that are now considered classic rock.
All right.
Number 1, the Goo Goo Dolls' Iris.
Oh, yeah. That's
Classic rock.
yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I mean, by definition, yeah, it falls under classic rock. Sure.
Okay. 2, Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight.
Good song. I enjoy that song.
I never did like that song.
I enjoy that song.
And I'm not saying it's a bad song. I just didn't like it.
Sure.
I don't enjoy it. Number 3, Semisonic, Closing Time.
All right. That song grates on me.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's something about that song that just kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so I guess I just was thinking about this. I would have got more of a rise had you read this list to me because you're very factual with the dates. If it falls within a certain date frame, it's
I don't know what dates
Right.
make something classic rock though, but I could see that. I mean,
so the Cranberries, Zombie.
yeah, and I love the Cranberries.
Yeah.
Underrated band.
So do you think classic rock just because it's a classic song? Is that where that's going in your brain? Okay.
No, but just from the time period, it's approximately the same distance from when it was created to the songs that we were listening to considered classic rock when they came out.
I get that. I guess for me though, I have a harder time with the label just because these are songs that don't feel like they came out that fucking long ago to me.
Sure, if somebody says to me classic rock, I immediately am thinking Zeppelin, Aerosmith,
like 70s.
Yeah, I'm immediately thinking that, but I understand. I don't know what the definition of classic rock is.
But I'm just saying the reason I'm having a hard time with is just the thought of getting that much older and realizing that shit. If you turn on classic rock radio now, it's become its own genre in the sense of it's the 70s stuff. But some classic rock radio,
right?
I heard Goo Goo Dolls come on it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I've heard Hootie and the Blowfish on classic rock.
But it's like shit that came out when we were technically adults
right.
are starting to be considered classic rock, and that is fucking hard to swallow, man. Not as hard as your cock. Filter, Take a Picture. Just fucking fuck Filter anyway.
Yeah, I feel like Filter had this thing where there was this thing where people were like, you gotta listen to Filter, man. It's like Radiohead.
You take a picture?
No. It's just like Filter and Radiohead. That was like, for whatever reason, people just decided that they were these amazing bands that should have been more popular than they were, and that you were not in or cool if you didn't like Filter or Radiohead. And they got a few songs that I enjoy, and that's it.
I tried so hard to like Radiohead. I tried so hard to like them. Because because they're a very fucking talented group of dudes.
Absolutely. So is Pink Floyd.
Right. Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying though. But I tried to get on board the fucking, the Radiohead train, and I just couldn't. I did the same thing with REM.
They got a couple songs that I like.
They have some amazing songs in the category. Good, But as a whole, as a band, I couldn't do it. I tried so hard, and I got pull of a few like the song Night Swim.
And they were considered alternative rock.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It's weird.
Yep. Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away.
Okay. Lenny Kravitz is old enough to be classic rock anyway.
Silver Chair Tomorrow. That's nice. Basically, almost things that came out in the 90s, early and mid-90s are like Marcy's Playground, Sex and Candy.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins, 1979.
Yeah.
Liz Phair, Never Said.
I couldn't even hum that melody to you.
Everclear, Everything to Everyone.
Everclear had some great songs on their
They were all
albums.
the
They're
same.
so bad.
But the funny
live,
thing is,
though.
almost all of their hit songs are exactly the same.
Pretty damn
song.
close. It's like Green Day.
Yeah, true. Now they had a little bit lit. My Own Worst Enemy.
That is my wife's in her top 5 all-time favorite songs.
Did you know they are a bro country band now?
That doesn't
Lit.
surprise me.
Yeah,
I'm going to have
they
to
just
break her
released a
heart
new
with that
record.
on Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, you should give her the record. Give her the lit album.
Well, I've already given her Mother's Day present, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I did.
Okay.
No, it wasn't my dick.
Okay.
It's my fingers.
Rancid's Ruby Soho.
I can't even remember that song.
Really?
I don't think so.
Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta.
That was a great song.
It was.
I love that
Okay,
song.
this is the one that got me, and this one made me. I fucking cursed out loud with this
did
one.
you?
I was reading. I was like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!" Mighty Boss Tones impression that I get. It's like you're gonna throw that on
Yeah.
the god. It's a classic song.
It
but
is,
God
but
damn
yeah,
it.
no, I get it. It is, yeah. I mean, but it still falls under all of that
No, it
stuff.
does.
So I
It
get
does.
it. But it's such a fun song.
Yeah. All of it's like the best song that's ever been written about fucking AIDS testing.
What? What did you
The
just
impression
say?
that I get.
Oh, yeah.
Best song that's ever been written about AIDS
Still,
testing.
better song of theirs, The Rascal King.
Yeah. Sugar Rays Every Morning.
Oh, God. Sugar Ray. I saw them live at Big Spring Jam.
Yep. Lynn, Steal My Sunshine.
That's a fun song.
Yeah. Weezer's Undone the Sweater Song.
Yeah, of course. Anything
Yeah.
early Weezer's absolutely classic rock.
Yeah. Cake, Never There. That one bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, that one bothers me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blind Melons, No Rain.
Yeah, but that almost has a classic rock feel back then.
Right.
Just like Candlebox.
Yeah. Well, like this one, they're like some of these like Deep Blue Somethings, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
You know, early 90s, fine. I'm good with
The
that.
the 90s,
Like Lightning Crashes by Live. That has always felt like a classic rock
it had
song.
live always felt classic rock, but I love that song.
Do you? You would.
No, hold on a minute. Not Lightning Crashes.
You just like hearing
I
about
Alone.
I
I like
okay.
I Alone.
Yeah. This Collective Soul, Jewel, You Were Meant for Me. I think some
Collective
of them,
Soul felt like classic rock back then.
Dave Matthews, Crash Into Me.
Yeah.
The Verve, Bittersweet Symphony.
Ooh, that's anything.
See, what I have a
Oasis
hard time
on
with.
there?
No.
That's weird. I mean, Oasis was out back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
So
But what I have a hard time with the stuff is not the time frame calling it classic rock because of the amount of time that's passed. The amount of stuff is like some of the stuff as a genre does not fit in my brain. Because
because you have classic rock as a genre and time period of music, not
Together.
time frame until since music is
like
a time
for instance,
period.
like the Ramones, right? They're fucking late 70s, early 80s. They're a fucking classic rock by that definition, but they're not a classic rock band.
Yeah.
Like I guess classic rock to me is like Southern rock and butt rock, like you know,
Okay.
Zeppelin, Skynyrd, fucking Aerosmith, AC/DC, like all those guys are classic rock. But to me, it's always been a genre in my head, and I have a hard time.
Yeah.
And I understand that classic rock by definition is
know
a
what's-
time frame.
You know
I
what's
get
funny is that kids nowadays that are hearing that if they hear these songs on classic rock, which not many people listen to the radio anymore anyway, but if they hear these songs on classic rock radio when they're older and the stuff they're listening to now is considered classic rock, they're gonna feel the same way.
Oh, I know.
But they're gonna be naming all the bands that we grew up with.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like we've said before, it's really fucking weird to me now to hear bands coming out that are directly influenced
Yeah.
by bands that that broke when we were fucking adults.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Do you remember a band? Because I don't remember them back then, from the 90s. They got together in the late 80s, and I think they had a kind of broke a little bit into the 90s. But I just recently heard them, and they're fucking great. The Jayhawks.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Jayhawks. I've either written them out of my memory or
No,
what.
you were never
They're
big into any type
fucking
of alt country. Though.
great, though. And see, what I've been listening to over theirs doesn't say alt country to me. It just says like pop rock.
Yeah, no, the Jayhawks are considered that because you have like Jayhawks.
Almost light pop rock.
Yeah, like
but
Jayhawks, old 97s, Uncle Tupelo, fucking early Wilco. Fuck, I just forgot the name of the other. Anyway, all those are in the kind of the same.
Sure.
Bottle Rockets was another band.
Okay. Well, the lead singer and I guess main songwriter from the Jayhawks has a new album coming out.
Because
But
I
anyway.
will say the Jayhawks, some of their stuff's way more quote unquote
Gary
country.
Loris, that's his name.
Some of their stuff is way more country than other stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, they're much more lenient. Kind of like the old 97s in the middle of their catalog, like Satellite Rides is much more pop rocky than
Gotcha.
a lot of the other
Yeah,
stuff.
they're great. Man, the Jayhawks are great.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Yep. No. You should fucking apologize.
I know.
No, that's fucking. What is it? Yeah, I picked the Jayhawks back up not long ago, and they're pretty good. But anyway, I got, like I said, way more into alt country than you did as far as that shit goes.
Oh yeah, you did.
Because to me, like,
that's what you were writing, so
more or less. Yeah, I mean, kind of. And god damn it, the Bottle Rockets, right? I just kind of discovered them a couple of years ago, and they're one of those bands that I've realized they have some songs that I think are just absolutely fucking stellar. Like, I love them, but I hate 90% of their catalog.
The Bottle Rockets sounds like it could be the name for two band types. 90s ska, Christian ska.
Yeah.
Bottle Rockets.
Yep.
Or 90s alt-rock chick band.
Yeah, I can see
Bottle
that.
Rockets. Like, as soon as I see both of those album covers.
Yeah.
I see both of them. Yeah. Anyway, I've never heard of the Bottle Rockets.
No, like I said, they're one of those bands, like the songs that crush just fucking kill, and the rest of the stuff's like, at least, for me on that shit. But Old 97s will remain one of my most favorite bands of all time until the day I die.
Okay. Yeah, I dig a lot of their stuff, but I'm just not into it.
Well, I think one of the things that makes me happy, though, about that, I will say that we haven't seen longevity as a whole of a lot of bands that came out since we've been adults that we were bigger into is some of them we'll see because Fall Out Boy's proven themselves this way, but the longevity and staying power.
Yeah.
Like Weezer's in their goddamn 50s now, and they're still doing shit, and they just, they're dropping, I think, 3 albums this year total. Old 97s,
are any of them going to be great?
I thought their last album was really okay. Human, I thought was fucking fantastic.
Okay.
But again, greats. I don't feel like anybody's releasing great records anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I can't think of the last time I heard a great album. I've heard great songs. Like I feel like 2 or 3 of the songs off of Van Weezer are fucking great songs. The album's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, MXPX has done that for the last 10 years, like released an album and have a couple of songs that are like, wow, this is really good, but then the rest of the album
But their new self-titled is
okay.
the best thing they've done. I think I would put it up close to Buffalo as far as quality of record goes and songs. Well. But you're right. But it seems to be to even take Fall Out Boy, right? They've had a couple huge records. Yeah. They're From Under the Cork Tree, still their best record, hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands down. And then they grew and things changed. And I'm not even talking about from like a preferential standpoint. I just mean from overall writing, arrangement, all that shit. I just feel like it's the best thing that they've done. But yeah, most of those bands, I mean, like Panic at the Disco came out around the same time. They're still doing shit, but it's a whole different iteration of what they started doing.
If you think about all of the bands that have come out in our lifetime that have had an impact or whatever, except for people who were alive in like the 50s and 60s, no other generation except us and them have really seen that many bands and things that really changed the face of a genre or revived a genre.
Right.
I mean, there's one guy from our teenage years that revived, not from our once from our childhood and then again in our teenage years, revived 2 genres, and that's who's the Stray Cats? What's his name? Brian Setzer.
Oh, Brian Setzer.
He revived rockabilly in the 80s with the Stray Cats, and then he revived big band swing in the 90s with the Brian Setzer Orchestra.
I feel like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy had more to do than Brian Setzer.
I don't think they did.
Reviving big band.
I don't think they did. I think that they got more popular. And they may have even been better, but I think Brian Setzer Orchestra brought it back to the forefront.
Because the first part of the swing revolution that I remember, the swing revival that I remember, was Scroll Nut Zippers.
Yeah.
That and Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies. Zoot Zoot Riot, man.
Zoot Zoot Riot.
Good Lord.
It's fucking garbage. But anyway.
No, I mean, it's just amazing. It's, and I don't do this about a lot of things, but like, it's like, it feels nice to know that we were part of growing up in that area, that were a lot of these bands. I mean, because Fall Out Boy, and Sticks and Stones was trashing Fall Out Boy that one time, but From Under the Cork Tree changed the genre, not changed, I guess maybe is the wrong word, but like brought it to the forefront.
Yeah, for good or bad.
For good or bad. I mean, I think it was for good, but I mean, because you got a lot of good music out of that, because from that same time period, then you get the popularity of bands like Newfound Glory.
Newfound Glory was
not Newfound Glory.
Yeah, they were
not
saying Newfound. Way predated.
Yeah, I don't mean Newfound Glory. They got, maybe it is Newfound Glory, but they got more popular because of that album. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it paved the way for them, but it brought these other bands that ended up being very good pop punk bands up into the forefront. I don't even know that. What's the name of the? Why can't I think of the name of the band that gave you the beer that you then dropped when you got home? Sugar Cult. I don't think they would have had that popularity without that album.
That was, dude, their big album,
but
Palm Trees and Power Lines, was well before.
But I don't think they were as big until after From Under the Cork.
No, they absolutely were.
I don't think. I just don't feel like it.
Their prime was several years before From Under the Cork.
I don't feel like it was. I feel like the album Los Angeles was, and I don't think that.
No, that wasn't their prime. That was their follow-up record to Palm Trees and
I just feel like it was a better album.
It was, but it wasn't as popular. Their height, that their memory was their big.
Well, maybe
single.
Maybe I'm just.
It's
putting
all
it
in
at
the
the wrong
same
date
ballpark
time period,
frame,
but I think From Under the Cork Tree brought opened the door.
Yeah, what I think what From Under the Cork Tree did is it opened up the door for quote unquote pop punk bands that were outside of like the Green Day, MXPX umbrella and kind of a different expressions of that.
Yeah,
because you couldn't really throw them as pop punk from the traditional confines of that genre, right? So they kind of took the emo side of shit and took the punk and basically, I mean, it's emo punk is what it was. I mean, I don't think you'd have had the success of like My Chemical Romance without From Under the Cork Tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think because that whole kind of broke in that same fucking period of time. But a lot of those bands like Newfound Glory, whatever, like a lot of their height, they were like Sugar Cult was peaking before that album, I believe, if I remember right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
okay.
So Amanda just said there's no sound on any of the platforms, which I think is weird because
it's very weird because that's up.
Yeah, that's up. But yeah, there's no sound coming out on that right there. Oh, but
interesting.
Oh, it shouldn't be though because this should be feeding. I wonder if we turn the microphone on the. I
don't know.
Black
I don't do. I did everything that I normally do.
Yeah. So did I, but. And we had sound coming. It doesn't fucking matter. You want to take a break so I can check all this shit?
Yeah, that's fine. It's nearing break time anyway.
Yep.
So
all right. So we'll be right back.
Dude, you're so back.
There we go.
You don't even know.
Oh yeah.
So I thought about something while we're outside because we both typically piss off the deck right before we come.
Which is always enjoyable.
That's one of the greatest things about being a homeowner. It's just
a
homeowner.
Oh, homeowner.
Yeah. No, I'm not homo. I'm more like half mo. But that's an old Loveline joke. But anyway, I thought you were fixing to close that tab down.
Like, oh, by the way, if you were at all checked to see what was going on the first half, evidently there was no sound. I think that's rectified now.
It's hard to believe that one person will stay on that long without.
Right. They just like looking at us.
Maybe they do.
Good looking men.
Maybe they do. They're like, oh, I see the cute one, but I can't hear the funny one.
I hope they kiss.
Yeah. But I was like, because I've noticed this more and more over the last 5 or 6 years, like that. When I get to the end of a really good piss, I have to really push that last little bit out.
Or otherwise, you get the full dribble.
Otherwise, yeah. As soon as you zip up, it just runs down. It'll just soak.
The dribble it creased so much more in my adult life.
It's insane.
And I
think it's worse since I've turned 40, but it's still for sure.
I found though, if my back hurts, I get more of the dribble than if I don't have the back hurt.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think it's prostate probably.
Oh, it's for sure. And there's a vitamin or supplement you can take that it absolutely works because I used it years ago when I was having some drip issues. Yeah, it's called saw palmetto, SAW, saw palmetto.
Okay.
But as an older guy told me about that one time. He's like, doctor told me to take saw palmetto. He's like, just go get it off the shelf at the store. But anyway, whatever.
It's weird. So I know you said you had a couple of things.
Yeah,
I have one more thing that I got just for you, for us.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's one more WikiHow. I don't know why I love WikiHow so much. I like it and get way more excited than you do with the WikiHow.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on the topic. But two in one night, oof.
I just think the thing I like about it is the fact that you can find instructions for the most mundane, stupid, and pointless things.
So what is this one?
How to be a people person.
Oh my God.
Number 1, crank up the enthusiasm.
I hate people that are overly enthusiastic.
So also with WikiHow, I found out that there are different levels of article ratings. Some of them are professionally written or professionally contributed.
Well, evidently, we haven't had any of those yet.
This is one co-authored by fucking some psychologist.
So we need to have them on to talk about this article that go off.
So yeah, crank up the enthusiasm. I as well cannot stand overly enthusiastic people. It's fucking grating as shit. Like I don't mind people that are positive. You know, some people look on the bright side. It's good for them. Amanda is particularly like a Pollyanna with shit, but she's also like a realist enough that she's not naively optimistic, if that makes sense. But the people that are just like everything's perfect and great all the time.
And I'm a relatively, I don't want to say like I'm not optimistic, but I'm not super pessimistic about things. But I am one person that like, so we just got our notifications of what our bonus and our raise was for the year. We didn't get a raise last year. We did get a bonus, but we just got notification, and it's not as much as you'd like because I mean it was a rough 2020 was a rough year for business. Yeah. But people are
2020. Am I right?
I know. This episode is so 2020. No,
it does.
No, but people were like, this raise fucking sucks. Like, yeah, but it's a raise.
Right.
So I do that quite a bit about stuff. Like it could be worse. Like things could absolutely be worse.
But to me, that's part of being a realist, right? Is being a realist to me, a lot of people are like, well, that's just, you know, covering up being, you know, pessimistic. And it's really not, because if you're
I says what I think.
Right. Well, no, because if you're actually a realist, you can recognize when things are good, but you're not afraid to fucking call out the bad shit that's there too. Like you can say, oh yeah, it fucking sucks, I didn't get the raise I wanted, but at least I got a raise. You know, you see both sides to that, you know what I mean? And you know, you're happy with what you get. But I think that's part of learning to be content too. It's like, well, fuck, I got something. That's better than not getting anything. I'm gonna be happy with that.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, I got a raise. Yeah. Boo, Chauvin went to jail. Just joking. I'm just kidding. For anyone watching, I'm just kidding.
But it's like, you know, but it's kind of the same.
We threw a Chauvin went to jail party.
Right.
Just kidding.
If you like, it's kind of like, you know, if I get punched in the face, I'd be like, well, that fucking sucks, but at least I get kicked in the dick. You know, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You know, that to me, that's positive. You know, it's not it's all gonna work out okay. It's like, no, you know what? No, it's probably not. You're gonna
I got a dry finger shoved in my ass, but at least it wasn't a pegging.
Right.
Right. So there you go.
Number 2, ditch robotic automatic replies. I'm fine is a real conversation killer.
Yeah, but all right. I'm a hardcore believer in this. If someone says, hey, how's it going? There are 2 answers you can give.
Yeah.
I'm fine or great. That's it. I don't care if you're having a bad day.
Right.
I'm just being polite by saying, hey, how's it going?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
That's just being personable.
I agree.
But I don't want to hear why it's bad or why it's good.
Right.
Just, I'm good or great.
But again, we're not people.
No, I guess we're not people.
Yeah, but I mean, and I get what they're saying. They're talking about more like people that, you know, like there's a group of friends going out like, hey, Joey, how are you? You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. I'm 100% like, I don't give a shit. Like if I'm asking somebody, it's purely for politeness. It's not for any other fucking reason. Like I like throwing back something unexpected from time to time. I mean, like, how are you? It's like fucking full of murder. How are you?
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, shit like that. But I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm not doing too great today.
Yeah.
It's been a rough one. Or today was a great day. My daughter painted me a picture before I left the house. I don't fucking care. It's fucking stupid.
Why fuck's your daughter up that early?
Right. All right. Number 3, tweak your tone.
Tweak your tone.
Watch the way you inflect words in a sentence. So in other words, instead of being like, did you really do that? Be like, oh, did you really do that?
Yeah.
You know, one's condescending, one's not. Right. I don't want to be this like
my
aware of what the fuck I'm talking about.
My response is almost always, oh yeah? Like if somebody says they did something, they're gonna be like, oh yeah,
that's cool. But it's the same way.
Or
like
nice.
You and I text that way. Like you're like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Cool. Like that's the bulk of.
Hey, I'm doing such and such. Nice.
Unless there's information that's needing to be conveyed.
That's it.
Like the response is always like, oh, dude, I'm doing this. Cool. Like that's it. You know?
Yes.
Number 4, and this is act empathetic instead of sympathetic. Empathy focuses on connection, while sympathy is more detached. And there is a big difference in the two.
There is a big difference in the two.
Because I can't fake empathy. I can fake sympathy.
Yeah. Same.
Well, let me rephrase it. I can fake empathy as well if I have to. I've watched it enough to know.
I don't know. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I have a hard time because I have no empathy.
That's my problem. That's a lot of times I have no sympathy.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, what I try to do with that shit is like, I can look at their situation and realize why they're feeling the way they're feeling, like logically, like where they're at.
Sure.
And I can use that to be like, oh, okay, because
But
not
if
everyone's
people
a
are
fucking
going
robot.
through something, and I've been through it before as well, I really don't have a lot of sympathy because I'm just like, well, you'll make it.
You'll be okay.
You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. All right, number 5, be a good listener. Believe it or not, being a people person doesn't involve lots of talking.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's relationships 101.
iPhones, like for all of their greatness, iPhones have killed that. The ability to listen, like totally.
Yeah. We were talking about this the other night, man. It's like the kids right now, they're more connected to everybody they've always been, but they're so
the world is so much smaller.
They're so fucking lonely.
That's
and they're lonely by fucking choice because they'll be like, well, it's weird to have somebody over to the house. I'm like, okay.
What's weird
That's
about
normal.
that? Yeah.
Ask. No, I'm saying ask most kids.
No, I
get
get it. I'm just saying, but like, what's
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, my kids are older, so they enjoy being around people.
Well, it gets different when you're older because then you get to drink and you're hanging out and doing stuff. It's not. I don't know. It's just this weird thing. Like,
sure,
they'd rather
but
hang out online or
my
text
kids didn't get an iPhone at a young age,
Right.
so
Exactly.
they did a lot of hanging out.
Right. I mean, it's kind of moved on, but I think growing up in church helps with that too, though. Like all that shit.
It does, for all its faults. I mean, it definitely helps with the being sociable.
Yeah. Ask lots of questions because most people love to chat about themselves. When you express a lot of interest in another person's life, they start to find you interesting too. That is not fucking true.
Right.
To me, like, I get asking questions if you're interested in knowing about somebody or wanting them to open up. However, I'm not going to enable an asshole that just likes to fucking talk about themselves.
Sure.
Fuck that son of a bitch.
Well, I find that for me, I have super old man things I can talk to you about, or this podcast that I can't talk to anyone about.
Right.
So it's
Which
just like,
I think
hey, I'm getting a 0-turn mower this weekend.
Well, it's so weird though how that converts though the things, because we'll talk about music and shit sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like even the things that we like as we've gotten older has drifted apart because I listen to a lot of music, whatever, and you're like all podcast, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Right, and I found a couple.
Although I will say this, I got on a super like 90s country. I say 90s and earlier country like mood on the way back 2 weeks ago, taking my daughter to pick up the dog she just got, like on the way back. But I was listening to George Jones and George Strait,
like
shit, like old like the Grand Tour and He Stopped Loving Her Today and shit like that. And it's like occasionally I just get things that stick in my craw. And
you know what though, for all of the praise I can give like old school country, like old country, anything past like the early 60s, I can't listen to. I cannot stand the production of the records.
Before the early 60s, what you're talking about?
I can listen before anything after the early, like I should say 70s when they started getting the Nashville gloss thrown on.
Gotcha. So you don't like any of the 80s or 90s stuff?
I can't handle it.
Really?
It's so bad. Well, the 90s is when everything started taking a shit.
Well, but depending on who you listen to, yes. I mean, and I blame Garth Brooks.
Yeah, but the production style in the 80s, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And that kicked in mid to late 70s. Really, anything before that's way more tolerable.
I got you.
But yeah, just that fucking I hate it. I can't handle it. Like for all I can like go back and find like old like live performances where it's fucking great, but like watching or listening to it as it was recorded in the like late 70s and 80s.
Depends on who it is and that. But yeah, 90s country I like a lot. Depends on who it is though.
Jesus. Number 7, remember the little details about people. Reference those small details in later conversations.
You know what's interesting is
all of this could almost be how to be a sociopath.
It could be, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem remembering without even trying little things about people. But things that get said randomly in my house, I can't remember. I don't remember. I shouldn't say I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe I can. I just don't remember. Call it not important to me. I don't know, which is weird, but I'm just saying like, because those things about those people that I work with, those things are not important to me at all. But for whatever reason, it just sticks in my memory. And the next time I talk to them or a week or 2 weeks later, or whatever, I just remember that stuff without trying. Though is the thing. But I also remember, like, one difference in you and I is like I remember time frames very well, and you
I don't.
You just remember doing whatever we did. You don't remember what
and I don't remember
it could
that.
have been yesterday.
And I don't
it could have
remember
been 20 years
that
ago.
time, half the time I remember parts of that shit. I mean, it's weird. Like I have to make an effort to remember fucking anything. But it's funny, like there's a few more, but it's getting stupid. But
no, I get it. But
a lot of that, like really, like it's almost how-to instructions. Like if you want to be a manipulative cunt, like those are the things you do. You remember small things, So because if you can make people feel like that they're important or have value, then you can get them to do what you want.
Sure.
Like, that's manipulation 101.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
you feed them enough to get them on the direction you want to go, and it's all
Yeah.
it's all these from here. Anyway, how to be a people person, Joey. I'm not willing to put in the effort with most people. That's the thing. I think that's why I know a lot of people get fewer friends when they're older, but I know even my parents when they're older, there's people they want to get together with, and they might meet another like couple their age. I just don't understand that. I don't want more people in my life. Like I
don't want more people in my life, but I am satisfied to spend time with the people that I do like already.
Yeah. See, I like spending time with Amanda, and I tolerate spending time with you. And that's really about it, man.
Sure, but
like I get along with a lot of people. Like because I use the word buddy and friend very loosely.
Sure.
It's people that I get along with, that I have acquaintances with. Like the guy that I work with in the same office. Like, we get along really well. Luckily, because it's just two of us in there. And we're fun to joke around, and like, I want to grab a drink, I'd grab a drink. But like, I'm fucking 40 years old. I'm not gonna make another friend I'm gonna hang out with on the weekends.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I'm not interested in making another friend. If accidentally you become a friend of mine, fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in.
Well, that's kind of how it's gotten
friend.
with like Ben and Don. Right?
Sure.
I chat with them. Like, I would consider them friends, not like close friends. We don't hang out and do shit.
If I reference Ben and Don, I call them buddies.
Yeah.
And I'd never speak to them if they're not on
either one
podcast.
of them texted me and was like, "Hey, you want to grab some food?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, well, do that. That's cool." But it's,
God, that made me want Waffle House so bad.
Oh man, that. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask permission to go to Waffle House when we get done here.
But no, I just know. But I can't. I find more and more I'm very narrow-minded in certain areas, right? Sure. And one is the shit I will put up with other people. And so, like, I give you this narrow window, and I won't treat you shittily, and I won't be an asshole to you. But like, if your actions,
I will treat you like you're not there, is the way I do it.
Well, I mean, if I've made the choice to be somewhere with you, right, I will do what needs to be done to get through that evening in a pleasant way. But after that, no, I don't care.
You better wow me. That's what I said, or you'll never see me.
But
again.
My point being, like, even with that, like, so if we spend an evening together and I didn't know you, right, we just hung out, mutual friend, whatever, and I thought you were super cool, then yeah. But if you like went outside of my little lane of the things I know I can tolerate in another human being, I'd be like, nope, never talking to you again.
Do you think if we met each other now, we would like each other?
Yeah.
I kind of think the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it would be completely different dynamic for sure.
But I think, though, it would take somebody, but neither one of us, though, have really bite our tongue much. Like, we both will fill out a room, or feel out a room. We'll both fill out a room too. Sure. But we'll fill out a room before shit just starts pouring out of our mouths, because we've learned that much. But
absolutely.
But all it would take would be one of us to make some super off color joke, and it's like, okay, I'm hanging out with this guy the rest of the night.
Yeah. Like, all right, he gets it.
But if I met you now, you wouldn't become my best friend.
Yeah. Well,
because I'm not investing the time to hang out with anybody.
Sure, but I feel like things, because we didn't invest the time to do that. It just happened. It just did. It really just. I mean, can you think about how far apart we lived? I put
a lot
long.
of effort into this relationship.
Yeah, sure you did. Just think about, though, like how far apart we lived, even in our late teens, when we really weren't like. I can remember you.
Did you?
No. I was rubbing the end of my. I went like this.
I thought you were thinking about some of this.
No.
We were tight.
Yeah, it was more like this. Yeah, it was like no. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I am, as I get older. I mean, probably though for the last 10 years or so, like I'm not interested in new friends. Like I have people that I hung out with when we lived in Pulaski, and I still consider them friends. And if I were in Pulaski and had the opportunity to hang with them, I would.
Really?
Yeah, there's people that I partied with and worked with and whatever. I still consider them friends. I mean, like, there's a couple of them that still reach out on occasion and things like that. I play fantasy football with them every year. So there's contact with them. So
that's the thing, man. Like
But it was a thing like that at a point in my life when whatever they had to offer, I needed that. And we just happened to meet at that time that it worked.
Yeah.
And there are also people that I know if I needed something, and which I think is the beauty of being I think is the beauty of being a friend of mine is that it's rare that I'm going to need something.
No, I got you. Right.
But if I needed something, they do whatever they could.
Okay, so honest question.
Yeah.
Honest question. If you never saw me again after today, would it bother you?
Define bother.
I don't know. I am just
there would be times that I'd be like,
Like,
damn, I wish I could share this with Steven.
yeah, or I missed him or whatever.
Yeah,
the
I
case
wish
may
I
be.
could
Okay.
share this thought I just had, because there's plenty of times when I'm with just me and my wife or
Mhm.
people at work, and I have this super off color thought that I
Right.
can't share,
Yeah.
and I'll text it to you.
Right.
And if I didn't have that, yeah, I might kill myself. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there would be plenty of times that
Okay.
I go into a dark depression? No. But would there be moments that I was like, man, I really wish I could share this with Steven right now? Yes.
Well, that just shows which one of us cares about this relationship more.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with care. I think I know what this relationship means to me. And it means it's a vent. It's a pressure valve.
A big sticky pressure valve. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
notice neither one of us have doubled up on this tonight.
No, it's not good.
That's not great.
It's not even
I feel like
good.
I feel like it would be great for picklebacks.
That way would be good
Be a
for.
great pickleback bourbon.
I wish I'd known how
Way
bad it
too
was
much
going to be
fucking
before we
expensive.
came down here, because I would have brought
Oh,
pickle
yeah.
juice down with me. I don't think, and my daughter's not here, I'd get her to bring it
That would
down.
have been a fast route though for us to
It
for me
would.
to be staying the night tonight.
The problem with getting my daughter to bring pickle juice down here is having to be the bad person to say no when you say do a pickleback with us.
That's
I'm not gonna let an underage person drink on camera with us.
That's fair. She could do it off camera.
No, I'm still not gonna. That's just my rules. Like, don't do
I
it
know,
here.
I know,
I know you do it with your friends and whatever.
Yeah.
But regardless, so I got a gift for my wife for Mother's Day.
Okay.
And before I tell you that, I want to find out, what are you guys doing for Mother's Day?
Going to Fayetteville. So they're doing.
And you say I love my family.
Right. We're going down for a
Mother's
it's
Day.
at my grandma. For Mother's Day, it's
Sure.
at they're doing a thing at my grandmother's because she's my last surviving grandparents.
Yeah, but it's not Grandmother's Day.
Right. Well, but that's
There's Grandparents' Day.
There is Grandparents' Day. It doesn't fucking count. Anyway, so everybody's wanting to get together, like my dad and Vicky and all that shit.
Everybody.
So everybody that's alive on my side of the family, yeah.
Everybody but you.
Right. But then my mom texted me yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I was waiting on this one and was like, hey, will you come up early and go to church with me on Sunday?
Oh, I'm so glad I asked you this.
Yeah. And I was like,
you said,
yeah. And the reason being, and this is the only reason, my mom is one of the only people I know. She judges me and hates the way I am, but she won't say it. And she's not passive aggressive. And she never asks me to do shit. And I like that. So when she texted me and asked me this, I was just like, my initial thing was, fuck no. And then I was like, well, she never asks me for anything.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's like, so
I get it.
I'll do it. You know, I talked to Amanda. Amanda was like, really? And I was like, yeah.
Is Amanda going to?
Yeah.
Nice. What kind of church is it?
It's an old Assemblies of God church.
Ooh.
And it's all like, there's like 20 people in the church and they're all like over 50. It's one of those sad hanging on
Sure.
churches. So I don't know if they're having like a special Mother's Day service and
the
she's
pastor has a second
there.
job,
Right.
type of church.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
He doesn't get enough.
Right. So I don't know if she just wants me there, if they're having a special Mother's Day thing to show me off, or if she's thinking this would be the day that I'll get re-saved. I don't know. But I agreed to go. So we're leaving
Nice.
early Sunday morning to go up and go to church with my mom and then dinner at my grandmother's house.
I need video of your reactions to things,
Right.
even if you just keep your phone down low, but on your face.
I should TikTok the whole thing.
Well, no, don't do that, because I want to release it later. I want to play it on the next episode that we do alone.
I'll see if I can figure out how.
If you can,
I'm just gonna wear a big camera GoPro
video.
rig on my chest,
That's
so it's
fine.
just here the whole time.
That's fine.
Like, what are you doing? I'll be like making a documentary.
Documenting
Documenting
my
docu into me.
documenting my next come to Jesus.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
Jesus.
I really, yeah. Well, you know, you've done this to the least of these.
Oh, fuck me.
I fully intend for my dad to ask me about this podcast on vacation in 4 weeks.
I
5
hope he
weeks.
does.
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell him?
If he says something, I'm like, yes, I do a podcast. I would very much appreciate if you didn't listen to it. That's what I'm going to say.
Do you think he'll listen to it?
If he hasn't yet, maybe he won't. I don't know. That I don't know. But I might. I mean, if it comes up, I will say, listen.
Dude, use me as a scapegoat. You just be like, dude, Steven cusses a lot.
No, because that's not going to stop him from listening. If he's going to listen, he's going to listen. But I will say, listen.
Tell him, go. Steven says, God damn it, a lot.
Yeah. No, I will just say to him, I yes, I do a podcast. It's not something you're going to be interested in. It's not going to appeal to you at all. But I'd very much appreciate it if you would not listen. I
Okay.
don't want you to listen to it. Just let's keep everything right where we're at right now.
Right.
Let's not write me out of the wheel or anything like
So
that.
if your dad listens and finds out about it, will you start sharing on social media?
Probably.
Okay.
If he well, that's different. It depends. If he has listened to it, then yeah, at that point, whatever. All bets are off.
Yeah. You don't want to tempt him.
There are other people that I don't want to hear it just because I don't want to deal with the messages, texts, or whatever of like, I don't want to deal with the whole.
If there is a way that I could make you go through what I went through with my grandmother, I would throw you under that bus so fucking fast.
No, I know
just
you
for my
would.
own
I know you would.
entertainment.
But like, it's like there are people that there are absolutely people that are in the church, they're pastors or whatever, that I absolutely respect. Like I know them personally and know that their heart is in the right place or whatever, but I don't want to deal with messages from them.
Okay.
So that's one of the bigger things. That and my dad are the two things because my mom already thinks I'm lost.
Yeah. Is it because you don't want them to think you're lost, or you just actually don't want to deal with the conversation with
the conversation?
But it's not dealing with the conversation because
I got no doubt. I don't want to have to deal with getting the message and then having to decide to ignore it or respond with whatever I think.
Respond. You can make a fun game of that shit.
I know I could, and I could absolutely read it out loud on here.
It would be great.
Sure. I just don't want to deal with it.
Stop letting me down.
Don't want to
Stop letting me down. We had as much as you just like reveled and basked in the glow of my bullshit. You got to give some. You got to give.
Yeah, but you going to church is not the same thing as me having to deal.
No, I'm
with
not talking about going to church. I'm talking about the whole thing when my grandmother listened to shit and the phone calls.
It's funny.
It is funny.
But if the tables were turned and it was happening to me, it would be funny to you.
Yeah.
But you would have done anything you could for the most part to keep that from happening.
Just my grandmother. Anybody else, I don't give a fuck about. But just her, just because of whatever. But
yeah.
And even then,
it's honestly for me, it's only like two people, and
really it wasn't even so much. The thing was,
three people.
It wasn't so much about her finding out about it because it wasn't really that. It was, I guess, it was saying he's dealing with the aftermath.
Sure, that's it. I don't want to deal with the
because I'm not getting shit in the will anyway. So
sure, I just don't want to have to explain why what I think is real is real. But I don't know. It's not really even that.
Part of me enjoys that. No, honestly, because
you know what I hate more than anything? I'll be praying for you. I hate
that's
that.
that's what I get from my mom. That's as much.
I get that.
That's as much as I get from her, which I appreciate. That she'll say, "Well, I'm praying for you today." It's like, okay, well, thank you.
So
I need more than that.
So my mom, and I don't know if she's going to listen to this or not. I don't know if she ever listens anymore or not. I really don't. But I know she listened and said I must be lost. Or search. I don't remember.
Like I ain't lost. I got fucking Apple Maps, bitch.
That's right. Yeah, I got Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze. What you want?
Fucking Waze.
I'll even MapQuest it if you need me to. I was thinking the other day, you remember what it was like if you were going to a venue to see a show and you'd not been there before, how you would have to go to MapQuest, print the directions out, and then look at it on your way. Yeah. Anyway, so do
you remember pre-MapQuest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was rough.
Yeah.
That was, you had to get directions from somebody or have an atlas.
Did I tell you about Jude getting mad in the back? So I always keep an atlas in the car, or I did in the old car, just because I can still read a paper map. And, I was going to teach the kids how to do it, whatever. And because to me, it's an important skill if GPS shit goes down, because I know good and well how old the GPS satellite system is in our country. Anyway. And Jude pulled out, and he was like, "Dad, what's this?" I was like, "That's an atlas. There's maps for all the different states." He said, "It says 2018. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is stupid. It's old." I was like, "Not that many roads have changed since 2018. Like the main ones are still there." And he was like, "This is dumb. I hate this." I was like, "It's a book of maps." He's like, "I hate it. It's old. It's stupid." He threw it on the floor and stomped all over it. And I was like, "You little shit." And I didn't realize he had done this, whatever. But for some reason, an old paper map angered him more than
that's funny.
Anything else.
That's funny. So I was fixing to say something. I can't remember what it was.
Did you even have iPhones in 2018?
I got my first iPhone in 2010, 3 years after the iPhone came out. I got an iPhone 3GS.
3GS. That was my first
one.
phone. Yeah.
And I thought I was the shit with
Yeah.
it. And I've looked back at pictures I took with that first iPhone. They were awful. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Like, how did anyone ever think that this was awesome?
Right.
But anyway, I forget what I was saying before you said that about
Mother's Day. You got your wife.
Yeah, no. But there was something else. Oh, my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah. So, 4 or 5 weeks from now.
Could have been my ex-wife.
God, yeah. Or at least your old fuck buddy. I would still call you dad. Like, I absolutely would still call you
and
dad.
that's a crown I would have worn proudly. Could you remember how fucked up I was at that
absolutely.
age? It was like 22?
If she had given you the time of day or anything, you'd absolutely eaten it up because you were so vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're just so vulnerable with your dyed black hair and fat ass. Oh my God. I looked at a picture recently of us from back then. I'm like, Jesus, he was fucking huge. You were huge.
Dude, I'd hit like 220, 225.
And I've been 210 and slightly over. I've never hit 220, but you're also a couple inches taller than me.
Yeah, but still, I'm pudgy like to be now, and I'm not as fat as I was then. I had gotten fucking big.
Yeah. But so anyway, we're going on vacation with my dad. We do it every year. All the siblings, you hate it. But my mom decided to go on vacation to the same beach the same week that we're there. Not the whole week, because she can't afford 7 days.
My mom's fucking crazy.
And she had reached out
Miss
to
Tommy, you're fucking crazy. If you're listening to this, goddamn.
So she was going with her sister. Her sister was going down there. Her sister didn't know we were going. And my aunt, I love hanging out with my aunt. She's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
She's a wino, but she's fucking awesome.
You don't hear that word thrown around much anymore.
I know. I'm bringing it back.
He's a fucking wino.
Cat.
Yeah.
Daddy-o.
Yeah.
No. But my aunt changed her dates and my mom kept hers because we're going to be down there. And she was like, I'd really like to see you guys when we're down there. And I told my sisters, I'll give her one afternoon. And we'll be at a public beach. She can come to us or whatever. But I'll give her one afternoon. I'm not letting her hijack the vacation that my dad's paying for. Because it feels like she's using my dad's vacation that he's paying for to be able to spend time with us at the beach.
That's some crazy shit, man.
I don't know that because she did plan to go with her sister, and I think I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt and say I think it was before she knew we were going that week. But when her sister changed it, she didn't change it too. At that point, she knew we were going to be down there. She's going, and she'll have my 2 nephews with her as well. Which to me that'll be kind of cool to be able to spend a little bit of time with them at the beach, but I don't get to see them very often. I'm really pressing Mary to move to Knoxville when I talk to her. And she's interested in it, but because she thinks it would be devastating to mom and because mom's free babysitting, she's not moving.
Right.
But regardless.
Well, Krista wants kids, so free babysitting.
Do what?
I said Krista wants kids, so free babysitting.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway. It must have come from my iPad.
Phone
I had to connect it to the internet to pull up this news story. I'll go over in a minute. So
let's get to the fucking present for your fucking.
I got my wife a autographed photo of Lewis Hamilton in his car, Formula One, because she's super into Formula One.
Really,
huge Lewis Hamilton fan.
Okay.
And at first I was like, yes, fucking great present. This will be awesome. And I thought, if I can get it in early enough, I'll go have it framed and I'll give it to her or whatever. Well, it came in today.
Okay.
And when I brought it in the house, I was like, she had some Amazon packages and I had this delivered. I bought it from somebody out of England, and I've got the certification, authenticity or whatever. But I said, here, you can open this. But for the last 2 days, I've been going, fuck, maybe I don't know my wife as well as I think. Really? Maybe she's not going to like this for Mother's Day. Because I told her, I didn't tell her what I was getting her, but I told her, I was like, this is not a Mother's Day present. If someone ever says, where'd you get that? And you say, for Mother's Day, I think I'll be like, really?
How is it not a Mother's Day present?
It's just not. You think of autographed Formula One driver photos for Mother's Day? No.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, because
you're the only person.
No, you look at presents differently than I do, though.
I look at it as it's a great present to get her.
Exactly.
And you do too. But most people are going to go, Really? For Mother's Day?
But most people really fucking suck at giving gifts.
I understand. And she told me when I gave it to her today, she said, because she wrote down a couple of things that she thought it might be.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to guess what I'm going to get her.
Right.
And one of them, she's like, I thought you were going to get me like a really nice, really expensive vacuum cleaner. I was like, no fucking way would I get you a vacuum cleaner.
That's a birthday present.
For Mother's Day. I wouldn't do it. Not for Mother's Day, not for anniversary, not Valentine's Day, nothing like that. You don't do shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But she loved it. Like, she thought it was, she's like, I love this. I want to get it framed and put it up or whatever. But anyway.
That's part of knowing somebody. But the thing is yeah, but like what you just said, people wouldn't think of it. That's the problem that a lot of, like, I know so many people, I have met so many people, we watch videos of people that complain, mostly women, that my husband just doesn't understand. He just gets me this or flower. Like, yeah, because they're not taking the fucking time. It's not hard to give people good presents.
I feel like husbands and wives both don't know how to get their spouse good presents most of the time. Not everyone, but most of the time. Well, and I think if you really want, if you're a woman that wants to know what to get your husband, talk to one of his friends.
No.
I absolutely think so, because they know what he's really into.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They know what he's really into. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to pick out a good present, but they can tell you what he's really into.
Right.
And that could then lead you down the right
I don't
path.
Understand that, unless you're like newly married and don't know someone that well, how you could not know what they're really into. Like, that's fucking crazy to me.
There's plenty of people out there that don't really let out some of their stuff to their spouse because they feel like their spouse is not going to dig it.
But that's a relationship problem.
It is a relationship problem, but it works for some people, and whatever. I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, that's just
stupid.
You know,
fucking stupid people.
Like, I don't know. Like, there's plenty of people out there that are into puppet porn, and their wife doesn't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But my point being, like, I cannot care. I cannot give a shit about someone. I could spend a day with them and get them the best present they've ever had in their life. Sure. We've talked about this before. I guess maybe that's just me.
If you were going to get me a present right now, what would you get me?
I'd have to think about it. It requires some thought. Like,
all right, then I'm going to ask you again before the show's over.
We're going to be talking about shit. I'm going to have time to think about it. Ask me next week.
I guess you're not that great of a friend.
Ask me next week.
Ask you next week. I'll try to remember.
Yeah, if you remember, write it down, and I will. If I fucking actually make it a priority, I will think of what I could get you as a great present. You're
never going to think about it this
week. I might. You never know.
There it is. Gift.
The tricky part with you, though, is you're such an indifferent, emotionless motherfucker when it comes to expressing everything. Somebody could get you something amazing, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, cool! I really appreciate it. Thank you." We've had that conversation. That your wife's
absolutely that way.
Yeah, I know.
My wife got me for Christmas 2019 probably the greatest gift that anyone's ever given me, and I told her, I was like, I am super excited about this. And she's like, I can't tell.
Yeah.
Like, but I am. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm super excited about it. Like, the fact that I'm saying something should tell you.
What was it she got? You told me this before.
She gave me tickets to go see Seinfeld live.
Yeah, Seinfeld, yeah.
That's it. That's one of the greatest gifts anyone's ever given me.
Yeah.
So, but whatever, you know. I'm trying to think of some other things that she's gotten me over the years, but I can't. We don't do a lot of gift giving anymore, just because we've got a, you know, we're you know, white poor enough that we can afford whatever we want.
Right.
So, like, I'm going to go to buy this lawnmower soon. That's probably my Father's Day gift.
Okay, if I could get you a gift like right now, and if I had the means and the capability of doing so, and I'm not saying I could do this, it would either be get you a guest spot on your Mom's House podcast.
Yeah, okay. We can't buy that, but yeah.
I know. That's a present.
Okay.
You know, or like get a remote interview session with Tom Segura. Have him call into the podcast. Like, if I was like, hey, I've got a surprise for you.
Okay.
Boom. Tell me that would be fucking
that would be that one would be a great one.
Yeah.
That would be even more so than spot on your Mom's House podcast, I think.
Right.
I think.
But that
would be great.
But that one would probably be easier to pull off than getting you a spot on there. But
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think either.
I'm not saying I could or would, but I'm just saying, like, if I had the means to do so,
sure,
or I cared enough, I might, work stuff like that out.
Yeah,
but,
right. Yeah. So speaking of presents and Tom Segura, like, he and Bert are best friends, Bert Kreischer, and they do a podcast together as well.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing it longer than them, but still.
You should tweet them and be like, hey, fuckers, we got you beat.
Yeah. But they started buying each other birthday. Like Tom bought Bert an electric bicycle last year, and Bert was like, it's the fucking greatest gift ever. It's like, you know, my wife got me, like, whatever he said, whatever it was. And he was like, this fucking greatest gift ever. And like, he told us, like, you need to talk to Tom. Tom's fucking great gift giver or whatever, you know. So That was what Tom got Bert this year because Tom and his wife are moving to Austin.
Right.
Bert got him a souped up Sea-Doo that's waiting for him at his house in Austin to go on the lake that they're on. And it's like 14 grand or whatever.
Jesus.
And that's what, and that's what Tom's like. But part of you thought that buying me this means that your next gift is going to cost like 30 grand, right? Bert's like, yeah, absolutely.
That's escalating.
yeah, it is. I mean, Tom spent tens of thousands of dollars on learning to dance and doing a video just to do something better because Bert did a dance video.
Right, I remember that.
And it's the way friends treat each other when you've got money.
Right. I don't know, dude. I could be rich as shit, and you'd be like, I just spent 30 grand on this. I'd be like, sweet, I got 30 grand worth of shit. Fuck you.
No, I'm just saying, like, but we would totally spend the money to one up each other on things, is what I'm saying. Like,
but I couldn't do it gift giving. Like, I wouldn't get you something that was more expensive than mine. I would,
but I'm a pretty generous dude, though.
Yeah,
when it comes to that,
I am
kind
too.
of
If people
stuff.
like give a shit about.
Well, sure, I get it. But yeah, I mean, like, no, I would spend shitloads of money on people that I like.
See, I wouldn't. Like, I mean, no, because I'm not a gift giver. Like, I am when I'm like with Amanda. Like, I would get, like, I have to force her. I should say force her. I have to, like, just buy shit if I know that she wants it or likes it. Like, I'll just get it because she won't get it for herself. She won't ask for it. She won't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, I have to. So I spend money on her. But otherwise, no. Like, honestly, if I were a millionaire, like, or just if I just overnight won the fucking lottery and I had fucking $150 million after taxes in the bank, I might buy you a bass guitar. That would be it. That would be it. That would be the end of it.
But not a custom shop bass guitar.
No, fuck no. That would be the end. That would be, I might get an autograph by Mike Carrera. And that would be it. That would be like, I was like, okay, I'm rich now. Here's your bass guitar. Don't fucking ask me for shit.
No, if I were rich for your birthday, you would get a personal performance from MXPX.
But no, it's weird to me to think of buying you presents. That's a weird thing for me.
And I don't think about that kind of stuff until it's time for the birthday. Like the birthday's coming up, and at that point it's usually too late.
Like, I can think, like, maybe.
But if I were rich, I could pay somebody else to think about it.
Right. With the dancing Jesus thing that you gave me, but you bought it like fucking a decade ago.
I did. I bought it a long time ago.
So my thought is, like, occasionally you more than me, but we've gotten each other shit over the years, but it's been like less than a handful. Like, you couldn't even count on one hand. Absolutely. And it's just whenever, like, oh, this is fucking perfect. And then that's it.
It's usually because I see something like there's only one person in this world that's going to appreciate this as much as me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 90% of what I've given you has come in the form of photos that I've taken and just texted to you. So
right. Just constant flow of gifts.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't like, I like giving presents because I know I'm good at it. And I like, it's one of my few things I'm really good at. And so I like seeing people's face, like with the kids, like I'll get them shit. And I'll spend a lot of money, but I can get them something that'll fucking nail it every time. But I don't mind spending money on Amanda. But that's about fucking it.
Yeah, I don't mind spending money on my wife, and I don't really mind spending money on my kids for the most part.
I hate spending money on my kids. I hate
it. Depends.
Like they appreciate it, but they don't appreciate it.
But they don't. My kids also don't really ask for a lot either.
Neither do mine.
So
well, Jude does. Jude always wants fucking something.
So like when Matthew moved out, this TV behind us that we used to use, but the shirt's hanging on it now, was his TV. It was ours first, and we gave it to him when we got a newer, better TV. But when he moved out, you and I started using this TV.
Right.
And so I bought him a new, nice 4K TV. It wasn't super expensive, a few $100, 40 whatever inch. But I don't mind doing that. Like Gabe, and I say this because I know he'll never hear it. But like Gabe, the house he's in, like he doesn't have a grill, and he kind of wants a grill. And like my wife and I've been talking about buying him a grill. Now I'm not going to buy him the same kind of grill that I've got. He doesn't have the room for it, but at some point in the near future, we'll buy him a grill or something like that. Yeah. I don't mind doing shit like that.
I don't mind doing shit like that at some point.
I spent a lot of money on the hockey tickets that my daughter and I are going to this Monday.
But that's not a constant flow of money.
It's not.
No. And and that's what I'm saying. Like my kids are the same. But like, so like I bought Eli when he turned like 13, 14, I bought him a really fucking nice TV for his room to play games, whatever shit. But when that got broken, I'm not replacing it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you can fucking buy your own at this point.
Yeah. If you break it, that's on you. You can replace it.
Exactly. Yeah. And, but it's the same way. Like, but my thing is like, I try to base what I spend being relative to their age. Right.
Sure.
Like Jude is fucking. He's turning 11. I'm not going to spend $400 for a present for his ass because he's fucking 11.
Sure.
You know, I might get him a new Switch game or something that I think he likes, whatever. But I'm not going to spend him a fucking PS5 when he turns 11. Fuck that. That's
as our kids got older, what we spend on them at like Christmas and birthdays increased a little bit as they got older.
Right.
But
like what I spend on Eli now is more than what I spend on Lyric and Jude.
Sure.
Lyrics is going up though because she's fucking like she's almost high school, and the shit that they like gets more expensive. That's the thing. I still like, but Eli's thing, he likes experiences more than he likes stuff.
Yeah.
Which
is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
I'm more about experiences.
And Lyric is kind of like that. Jude's not. Jude, like the more shit you could buy him $100 worth of $5 fucking sticks, and he's gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, look at all these sticks."
I can stick these in people's butts.
Right. And he's happy that he'd be like, "Look at all these quantity."
Right. It's quantity over quality. Yeah.
Right. And fucking. But like, I got Lyric for her birthday last year. Her birthday, I bought her or Christmas. I got her fucking one of those little Crosby suitcase record players. And
we got Olivia one of those several
fucking
years
thing.
ago.
She loves the shit out of it, and I was like, okay, but but it was I still spent maybe $100.
Yeah,
but Jude, like I said, I could buy him
you could buy him a case of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and he'd be fucking.
Well, I did that for one of my nephews last year. It was like, I don't know, $20 or $30, but it was a shitload of Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Now he got some really, according to him, some really good ones.
To Jude, every one of things that's shiny. I could sell this on eBay for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
like nobody gives a shit about your fucking Pokemon cards, you little asshole.
But I gave my nephew this thing of Pokemon cards. He was like over the moon about it. It cost me nothing.
But the funny thing is, the difference between me and you, I will not buy presents for my nieces and nephews. Fuck them. That's their parents' job. My job is to get shit for my own kids.
Part of it is guilt because I don't see my nephews almost
I see
ever.
my fucking.
I understand that, but I see my nieces a lot. I spend a lot of time with my nieces, and I don't with my nephews, and that's just part of his guilt. Like I feel bad.
Why is there guilt?
Because I have
you're a human.
It's because I have the ability to spend more time with them, and I don't put forth the effort.
They're not your kids.
You're right. They're not my kids.
You have no responsibility.
I understand that.
None.
But also, my family has my siblings or whatever. They're not really wronged me in any way. Like I enjoy being around them.
Mine haven't wronged me.
I don't know. Your sister did tell your grandmother about the podcast.
Well, but prior to that shit, like I don't. I just have no.
But also, my nephews aren't assholes, like you've said. Your nephews.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I feel no obligation other than
I don't
the
feel
people that live in my. No, that
to.
guilt is obligation to a degree.
I don't know about that.
They're related closely.
Yeah. Well. Fine.
You said you feel obligated to, which
no, I said there's a little bit of guilt in it because I don't see them,
right,
and I don't put forth a lot of effort to see them.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've never.
Like my nephews don't know the difference between me and David.
Yeah.
Like when I pull up, they're like, they look at me and they go, David?
I barely know the difference between you and David.
You absolutely know the difference. I don't drink Bullet.
Right. No, I'm sorry. You're this much a bitch. He's this much a bitch. That's the difference in the two.
He's younger, taller, and thinner.
Yeah. And he cries more though. So I'll give you that. I love David. He's a fucking bitch. He absolutely is a little bitch. You won't say because your brother and you're way nicer than I am.
I'm really hard on David.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'd say he cries more, but I guess if you don't mean literal cry.
No, not literal.
No, yeah, I get you. So yeah, he'll bitch about some shit.
He basically,
especially when he's drinking.
He basically walks around with band-aids on his asshole because he's always fucking butthurt, man.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I'm gonna get him some asshole band-aids.
That's fun.
At some point, you can give it to him.
You can get him a hemorrhoid pillow.
Yeah, I wish he would come on the podcast.
He
though.
won't.
I know he won't. We've tried so hard.
You could get Will and Jessica on, and they might get talking.
Well, Jessica said she'd come on. Though.
She will,
and
I asked her about coming on tonight, but she had something going on.
I was surprised how pleasant it was when she was on the last time.
Yeah.
Because
having your kids chilled her out.
Because your sister and I traditionally have never seen many things eye to eye.
No.
And she has always been very non-confrontational.
Right.
And I am very confrontational when I think it's making someone else uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that so much.
I do too.
Yeah. But when like last time she gave me shit back about called me out about the Napa Valley bullshit. And I was like, I was taken aback.
Sure. But you probably hadn't been around her since January 2014.
I remember Chris though, like a lot.
Chris is great.
Chris is great, dude.
Yeah. I don't know that I could ever get him on here, but we could definitely.
The last few times I've Again, it's been a long time. But the last time I saw him, he still would bring up the absinthe night that we had. It's a regular.
I brought it up when we were over at their house a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, fuck that shit."
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, they have a pool, so we need to do a pool podcast sometime. The house they bought has
Pool
a pool,
podcast?
so
You always want to do these like on location,
I
like
don't know. I'm just trying to think of something.
I want to sit. The only location thing I want to do is location that's not in your goddamn basement.
We can start doing it at your house.
We can do it at my house.
Well,
Are you going to drive? Are you going to drive 20 minutes every Saturday night to come podcast?
I would drive to your house if that's where we set it up. Sure.
Really?
I don't know where we would do it at your house because your downstairs is your oldest's bedroom.
I'll kick his ass out. I'll be like, fuck you. It's not your room for fucking 5 hours tonight.
Oh my God.
Go outside and wander the streets.
Yeah. So whatever.
One of his friends listens to us religiously. I found out, by the way.
It's just funny. I'd like to know his name.
Yeah. Probably fucking cockhold. Like that's.
Yeah. All right.
No, I don't know the kid. Like evidently he listens a good bit, and I guess he's talked some
I wonder
shit
if he's the one that called that night.
Yeah,
Didn't know
I
who.
think so. But I think he's always telling me he's going to call and like troll us and talk shit, but he never does because probably he's. So if you're listening, don't be a little bitch.
Well, if
we
you're
put our phone
watching
number
right
on the
now,
goddamn screen.
yeah,
all
if you're
the time.
watching right now, call us and give us something to talk about because we're just rambling.
I'm not rambling. I had more shit to talk about.
I have some more shit to talk
well,
about.
then I'm waiting on you. God damn it! This is what happens.
Okay.
We don't have guests. We don't have anyone to collect.
And ladies, here's the thing you need to know about men. Don't give him a reason to be like this distracted boyfriend.
What?
Hold on.
You hear me? Don't give him a reason to be looking around. Hello?
This is a pastor
okay.
talking about wives.
Why is it so many times that women, after they get married, let themselves go?
You want to see him?
Why do they do that?
Yeah, he's a catch.
Now look, I'm not saying every woman can be the epic trophy wife of all time, like Melania Trump. I'm not saying that at all. Not most women can't be trophy wives, but you know, like her, maybe you're a participation trophy. I don't know, but all I can say is not everybody looks like that. Amen.
Amen.
Not everybody looks like that. But you don't need to look like a butch either. But you say, how can I do that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm so glad you asked that question because you're in my office, you and your husband, and we're talking about your marriage, and you've asked me this question about what can I do about that. All right, if you were sitting in my office, here's the first thing I'd say to you, and boy, I hate to say that. This is why I don't do marital counseling anymore, and that is weight control.
What?
So how important is this? Let me tell you something. I have a friend. He has put a divorce weight on his wife. That's how important this is.
Oh my God.
You know, makeup is a good thing. You know, one little boy said to the other boy, why do girls wear makeup and perfume? He said, because they're ugly and they stink. You don't want to be ugly and stink.
Oh my God.
Scientists have discovered, by the way,
what
a food that diminishes a woman's sex drive. It's called wedding cake. Yeah.
And the what you showed me of him, it looks exactly how I pictured him looking like.
So that's a pastor who was slammed for telling wives to lose weight and look less butch.
Jesus Christ.
He's a Baptist minister.
Okay.
If you can imagine that.
Yep. I would have put him as that's some like non like Pentecostal shit right there.
Came under fire for telling married women to lose weight and look less butch.
Jesus.
To please their husbands, and
that's fucking
is now eating his
insane.
words and temporarily stepping aside.
Well, because you know he's not eating pussy.
Pastor Stuart, he looks like he's eating a lot of something. Pastor Stuart Allen Clark.
That's honestly one of the most insane. Like we both have heard some crazy fucking shit from the pulpit.
Now, hold on. If you were going to guess, so he's Pastor Stuart Allen Clark of First General Baptist Church.
Okay.
Where would you say he's at?
Oh, I feel like you asking me that's going to make it surprising.
Okay.
But I would have put him like, that's some like Texas or Southeastern shit. But I'm thinking you're going to say California at this point.
Malden, Missouri.
Missouri. Okay.
I wouldn't have guessed Missouri.
Well, no, but I mean,
anyway,
but that's some shit that someone from
delivered an enthusiastic sermon on Sunday, and this article is from March 3rd. So this is old, but I haven't had opportunity to bring this up.
That's
yet.
amazing.
I've had this article for a while.
See, what amazes me about shit like this, right, is that people are serious when they fucking say it. Like, and it's only directed one direction. And that's a big thing in church, right? And because one of the things that I can honestly say that Amanda's not changed my mind on that from talking to her, my perspective has changed some, is towards a lot of feminism and recognizing how much bullshit can be directed towards women
Sure.
that I never noticed before. That would
Yeah.
be the best way to put it, especially coming out of the church. And that's some shit. I'm like, fucking shit, man. Because none of it's pointed at his fucking tubby ass or any of the other fat dudes. Like, so basically saying you should be a fat, especially throwing like the Melania Trump in there, right? It's
Yeah.
like Donald Trump's a dumpy piece of fuck. Like,
Absolutely.
politics aside, he's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's no, if I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love to fucking toss that orange salad, but
Sure.
I think they'd be in the minority of folks.
Probably. And they're probably not a minority.
Exactly. Not a minority and not
Right.
in the minority, but,
Right.
But I don't understand. But like most, especially Southern guys, are bad about this shit, about being these dumpy fat motherfuckers. But wanting their was like, well, you just keep on gaining weight. Why ain't you losing nothing? You need to
Right.
stay thin and looking good. Make my eyes wander to other women when you're all fat and shit.
Right.
I'm like, motherfucker, you weigh 250 pounds.
Right.
Put like a 12-pack a night. I don't get it.
250 pounds and you're 5'5".
Right.
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 No, I
get the desire to have your wife stay attractive, because part of the reason you married her is because you
Sure.
found her attractive. But that should be a two-way fucking street.
Yeah.
You know.
I heard a comedian one time say that when you're getting married, that and if this is a joke for anyone that's super sensitive.
It's
but
not a
he's like,
joke. He means it.
but it's not my joke, it's somebody else's joke. But anyway, they're like, so you know, they were saying, I don't understand why you need to spend as much money as people spend on wedding dresses. He's like, fine, you get $1,000 for your wedding dress. For every $100 you go over 1,000, that's how many years you have to be able to fit into that wedding dress. It's like, so every year on our anniversary, put it on, and that's how many. You're like, if it's $2,000. 10 years in, you better be able to fit in that wedding dress.
No.
But anyway.
But the funny thing is about weddings, at least traditionally, like the bride's parents pay for the fucking wedding anyway.
Sure.
So, you know, I was like, I don't care about that. But
So the dad should be telling her she needs to fit in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he got some backlash after a group called the Friendly, or a website called the Friendly Atheist reported this, and First General Baptist parent organization, General Baptist Ministries, issued a statement saying the sermon included comments that are not consistent with the position and values of our denomination.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, First General has since discontinued their social media presence, removing all past content as well as their direct contact details. In keeping with our structure, the executive committee recommended that the Council of Association of the Moark Presbytery research the statements and take appropriate action. When contacted about the post, General Baptist Ministries declined to further comment. And yeah, so I love the fact that he said not all women can be a trophy wife, not all women can be Melania Trump.
I know, that's amazing. And just so you know, because I was watching, so this guy that I know, that one of the people that said that we cuss too fucking much, I sent him the link to this while you were talking, and he said, I've only heard 2 in like 5 minutes. And then he just texted cunt and shit and pickleback as a drink of fags. So
wow, okay, nice.
So I'm calling him out, you know.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
but he's not doing it for all the world to see. So I just got a message from somebody that's watching our show, and he just messaged me and said, what did he say?
I want to know what this is.
I've been watching the show. I just realized it was you. Yeah, I'm related to this person too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of Crystal's relatives.
So how they've been watching the show?
Because they've liked our Facebook page a year ago whenever we opened it, and I just invited people to like the page.
I got you.
So he gets notifications. I guess he's been watching it. I hope you're enjoying it, David. But anyway, so yeah. So I thought that that sermon
amazing.
about
like,
women.
I could go off. Honestly, we should do a feminism episode.
Okay.
Like completely centered around feminism.
Oh Lord, that could get us into some
and we
trouble.
should have some guests.
Okay. Who would be our guests?
I don't know.
All right. So I got an article that you're gonna absolutely love.
God damn it.
It's from BuzzFeed.
Can this be our closing one? Because if we're gonna have Waffle House, I want to have Waffle House, and it's already almost fucking 2 hours in.
Well, we'll see.
God damn it.
We'll see. I don't necessarily want to end on BuzzFeed because you hate it so much.
I hate you.
I got it.
So
there are a few things more important and precious than friendship.
Oh, God damn it.
Friends are your chosen family. It's not enough to just find good friends.
No,
they've also got to
be
a good friend.
Jesus.
What does it mean to be a good friend? Well, we asked members of the Buzzfeed community to share the unwritten and unspoken rules of friendship they think all people need to follow. Here are the results.
Okay.
Celebrate your friends' successes like they're your own. Show your friends how proud you are of their achievements. And support them. Go ahead.
So this immediately makes me realize like how much
This bothers me too. So
no, it's okay. So granted, we have a different kind of friendship that a lot of fucking people have, but that definition of what people expect out of friends has changed significantly, even since we were younger, like
Right.
what normal people would consider friends. And I know this, God, you fucking asshole. God damn it. Is like, I know for a fact that people are much more sensitive. Like your friends don't give you that much shit nowadays or without
Right,
getting your
which is
fucking
weird.
ass hurt. Yeah, because part of me, like growing up, like I knew people liked me because they'd either call me out on bullshit or call me fucking queer or fag or douchebag or whatever
Right.
the fuck it was. Like if you were really nice to me, I was like, yeah, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Like if you're not willing to be a dick, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right.
continue.
Number 2, don't comment. Oh, God, you and I are terrible friends if this is a rule for friendship. Don't comment on your friend's body unless you genuinely think they are unwell, physically or mentally, or they've asked for your honest opinion.
Wow.
If your friend tells you a secret, don't share that secret. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, you shouldn't do that. I mean, but anyway, it takes 2 people to have a friendship. Communicate
A
with your friend.
friendship isn't more like it.
Communicate with your friend. Don't make them do all of it for you. Sometimes you should be the one to text first. Give them a call or ask to make plans.
No. My thought about that is if I haven't thought about seeing you and don't want to, I'm not going to text you or ask you. If you decide, if it ever comes up in my brain, they're like, hey, you know what? I'd like to see Joey. I'll text you and see if you want to hang out. If it doesn't come into my mind, I'm not making the effort.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Number 5, don't drop your friends when you are in a relationship. Just because you met someone new doesn't mean you should ignore those who have stood by you and supported you throughout the years. Now, the second half of that sentence could just go away. I agree
It's a bitch
with
way to put it, but yes.
Yeah, I agree. Like, just because you...
Okay. How do you feel about that as far as friends of the opposite sex? Because that's where people get weird about it.
People do get weird about that. And I am a firm believer, and that single guys would fuck any of their single female friends if the opportunity was right. I don't necessarily feel that way about people that are in a relationship.
I do. See, my thought is,
I feel like that way sometimes.
You know, see, I feel like a one-on-one, and I'm talking about a friendship, not a work relationship, not a work friendship. I'm talking about a friendship. One-on-one, male to female, can never be strictly or truly platonic.
Yeah.
Can't be. I feel like as a couple, you can have single friends. So like Amanda and I can have a mutual female friend that's one of her friends that I'm friendly with, but we're not hanging out on the fucking weekends by ourselves, or vice versa.
Sure.
Doesn't happen. And I'm a big believer in that. But as far as...
And it also depends on what your significant other is comfortable with as well.
It's
that
not
plays
a
lot
thing.
No, I'm just saying, but that plays a lot into, like, if you're, especially if you're married, because if you're married, their comfort has to come into play with things. But
my point is, in a relationship or not, there's not one single person on this planet that will not cheat if the circumstances align correctly. Not one.
No, I think I can probably believe that.
And so if you're in a and the reason I say that, because any opposite sex friendship, and I'm talking in cis in cis straight people's worlds, but one person at any given time has some level of attraction to the other person. That's just how it fucking works. It's male and female. It's fucking biology. And so if you're spending any type of time together, it's just because you're in a relationship does not change the fact that you're a male or a female, right? And so just like you said, any single male, any single female, a platonic relationship, if you're single, it's no different when you're married. It's just your level of commitment to the person that you're with. But the opportunity, the temptation, the other variables are still all fucking there. It's just and I'm not saying people can't handle it. I'm saying it's a bad idea.
And that is absolutely, I agree with you. That is a bad idea. Yes.
And it's different than being friendly. Like, you know, if you have females that you work with, you don't want to be on bad terms, but that doesn't mean you're going out after work and having drinks with them. You know, that type of shit. That's what I mean.
Rule number 6, Always ask before taking a picture of them, and definitely ask before posting it.
Oh my God.
Number 7, don't guilt or pressure your friends. You should want your friends to be comfortable and happy.
No. I want you to be as uncomfortable and
I know.
unhappy at almost any given moment.
I know. Never leave a drunk friend alone in a bar.
Okay. Amen, Will. Amen.
What? Chicks will too? Okay.
And that's what I was referring to, dude. Anybody. Fucking anybody.
Number 9, be the friend who asks everyone to text when they've safely made it home.
No. Because you know what? You're a goddamned adult.
I agree.
If you die on your way home, it's not my problem. You made a shitty decision or somebody else
in the
did.
legal system, though, if I get drunk at your house and have a wreck on the way home, you're responsible.
Yeah, I know.
I think in reality, that's untrue.
No, I'll be like, no, he was sober when he left.
He must have stopped
He
somewhere.
must have been pounding shots on the way home.
Right. Number 10.
He was a drunkard.
Number 10, do not be codependent. It's okay to need space from your friends and for friends to need space from you. That's absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
Number 11, if your friend is having a hard time, please don't respond with how much of a great time you're having. What? Yeah.
Dude. Never, ever,
what happened
ever.
to celebrate your friends?
Right. But I'm saying never, ever, ever has your emotional state been an effect on whatever the fuck I'm doing. As a matter of fact, if I know you're having a shitty time, it doesn't even cross my mind if I'm having fun. And I will still text you and be like, having so much fun.
Right. Exactly.
Hope you're having fun, not swallowing that bullet. Hope it's a good night.
Yeah. Good luck with a Glock.
Right.
Number 12, ask, are you okay from time to time?
No.
Sometimes we get so caught up
that.
with our own business that we simply forget to check how our friends are doing.
You know what one of the worst fucking questions is to hear from another man? Are you okay? Fucking hate it.
I mean, if it's asked seriously, but like if
No.
we're in here trying no, hold on a minute. I'm gonna give you the example. We're in here trying to set some shit up, or we're having like early on months and months ago audio issues and you couldn't figure it out quickly or whatever, and you get pissed about it. And I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like it's like, hey, you're being the implication is you're being a bitch right now.
Right.
Chill out.
Completely different.
I understand. That's
I'm
what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
if I just text you randomly one day, I was like, hey man, are you okay? You've been kind of quiet.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Like,
no.
My response probably, I got a fucking life.
Because again, okay. If you came to me and wanted to have a serious conversation, like, man, like, I need to talk to you about this, I would fucking listen to you because you're my friend. If I thought it was stupid afterwards, I would probably tell you it was stupid.
Yeah.
But I am never once going to be like, are you okay? I just wanted to check in with you. It's like, if you have a problem, you can talk to me about it. If not,
right. It's part of being an adult.
Yeah. Like, honest to God, like, as far as you're my friend, I consider you a friend. You're probably one of my only friends. I care about you deeply as a human being. However, if I got a call from Krista tomorrow that said you have fucking hung yourself in this goddamn basement, I wouldn't care that much. I would, show concern because I know Krista would have a hard time with it.
Sure.
Then I'd help her plan the party.
Yeah.
And then, that'd be it. No, I mean,
I when I die, I want you guys to have a party.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a sad funeral where everybody's crying.
I'm just going to go and tell you now, I'll be indifferent.
That's fine.
So
I probably them plan a party.
I probably won't attend the party.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Nah, you will. There'll be alcohol there.
Yeah, it's free alcohol.
I'm sure there'll be some weed.
I'm gonna live stream your fucking.
Are you?
Oh yeah, dude. Can I do that? Can I do a podcast episode? Even if the podcast has been off the air for years, at your funeral, if I outlive you, in the unlikely chance I outlive you, can I do I have your permission to revive B3F podcast for one episode at your funeral?
I mean, what the fuck am I going to do about it?
I'm asking you. So that way
we'll revive it at the funeral, meaning what?
Meaning the first episode that for the B3F that'll have been done for fucking years will be me in front of your casket with you here.
Sure.
Talking. And the reason I'm asking you this, because I have now audio recording. So when Krista or your parents or whoever the fuck else protests, I'll be like, nope, he said I could. So fuck you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
You have permission to do it mine. And I want you to make voices for me and move my mouth.
Right.
Yeah. I like sucking dicks. It's so good.
Oh my
but
God.
I realized too, though, that honestly, like, I feel like our friendship is great. I like our
Put me on that
boundaries.
dick.
Yeah, where we are, what we do, fine. I don't want more than that. But I
Hey, I'm
realize,
gay, so stick your ass up
Jesus
against my
Christ,
dick.
quit with the goddamn fucking things. Point is, God damn it, that I understand that a lot of that is what most people's idea of a healthy friendship is.
It's not a healthy friendship.
It's
though.
not a healthy friendship.
No. Number 13.
God damn it, there's more.
Oh God, yeah.
God damn it.
If you say you're going to do something, follow through.
Okay.
It's good advice, period.
Advice in general, that's life.
I understand certain things happen, but at least send a text or call to explain. Don't leave your friend hanging, especially if you decide to ditch for a partner, because that's not cool. Number 14.
I wonder if they feel like you should offer an explanation.
It says at least send a text or call to explain.
Yeah, no, fuck that. If I'm going to be like, hey man, sorry, can't make it.
Yeah, but you and I are also one to go, hey man, something came up with the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Can't.
But that's what you do. You keep it vague where they can't
Yeah.
question it. Because
Sure.
if you ever question anything, I'd be like, fuck you. You don't need to know.
Sure, but if we were supposed to go to Waffle House, for instance, let's just say it's Friday night, we're not recording, and it's like, I feel like Waffle House. You want to go to Waffle House? Yeah, dude, for sure. And then Amanda's like, hey, you want to get on this ass?
Yeah.
You're gonna text me, and you're probably gonna be like, sorry, I'm fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do you remember our gong code?
yes,
I miss that so
for
much.
Scrubs. Yeah.
I shouldn't say I miss it,
Yeah.
but I was thinking the other day, I was like, I haven't thrown up a gong tweet in a long time.
I haven't either because I haven't had an opportunity to.
I've had a few.
Number 14. If someone has hurt your friend in any way, especially abuse, do not associate with them. It's
What?
really painful to see someone you considered a friend hanging out with someone who hurt you so badly.
Jesus Christ.
If someone abuses you, just beats your ass, they're going to be the next guest on the show.
That's fair.
If I found out that Amanda was physically abusing you,
Yeah.
the fuck is this? Then I would have you on the have them on the show.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's amazing. Oh shit. This is a very, very involved list. Yeah, but I don't understand that. Like, I think, but again, I'm very compartmentalized, right? But if I had another friend besides you, you guys could hate each other. I just want to hang out with you together. Like,
Sure,
I don't care if
absolutely.
that guy, every time you guys are together, he calls you a little stupid piece of shit and it makes you cry. If I like him, I'm going to hang out, just not with you.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Because I expect you to be an adult and realize that I can like two different people and it's fine.
Last one.
Okay, thank God.
Number 15. Finally, set healthy boundaries. You should be able to say no to your friends. Speak to them from a place of honesty. If they're not okay with boundaries, maybe they don't value the relationship the same way you do. I mean, I agree with setting boundaries. You should set boundaries with anyone. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, boundaries are good, but at the same time, I have no problem with boundary raping your ass if I really want to do something.
sure.
And you'll eventually, I'll either wear you down and you'll say no, or you'll
Sure.
say yes, or you'll say no. And I'll be like, okay, cool. Cause I'm not going to hold it against you,
Right.
but I will absolutely push your fucking boundaries until you actually give me a solid answer.
Sure.
Cause your shit is always, that's one thing. You're one of the most non-committal motherfuckers when something is unsure, and you will not commit till the very last goddamn minute. And it's one of the things about you that makes me want to fucking punch you in the asshole on a regular
So
basis.
I learned today that there are a lot of times that I think I responded and gave you an answer, and I absolutely didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But
And that
you know,
happens regularly.
for sure.
But also you'll be like, well, I'm not sure, I'll have to see.
Yeah.
And then I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm
And
like,
that today's one of those instances.
Yeah.
I would have bet my paycheck
Yeah.
that I had texted you that, yeah, Friday's good.
Yeah.
And I look back at it when you were like, hey, what about Friday? I look back because I wanted so bad to be able to go, fucker, I texted you 3
Right.
days ago.
because I
but
do
I
forget
didn't.
goddamned everything.
Yeah, sure.
So it wouldn't have surprised me either. But
Whatever.
but we didn't text much this week as we usually would because we've both been fucking busy.
Sure.
And so it was an easy look back, like, oh no, he hadn't told me anything.
Yeah. I would have sworn that I
But
said
you've
that,
always
but
been
I
one,
didn't.
not from an opportunity standpoint. I don't mean it that way, but because when you say you'll do something, 90% of the time you'll do something, right? So if there's any chance that something could affect what you're committing to, you'll be fucking non-committal as shit up until the very last
Yeah.
minute we can make a solid decision, as opposed to just choosing one and then saying no to the other or whatever. Like you'll wait till the last minute to
because
commit to
most of the
anything.
time the thing with me that's going to deter it is something I can't say no to.
Right.
it's a family issue or situation like that.
But that's where
whatever,
we. But again, that's the funny thing. That's one of the things that we differ in, because there are very few things
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can't say no to, and
Sure.
most of them would be like out of my control anyway. Like if Amanda was like, "Hey, I want you home tonight," I'd be like, "Okay." You know,
Yeah,
here's
no,
something.
that's the thing. Like,
Right.
like up until, let's say 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
if my wife were like, I feel absolutely miserable, I really don't want you to do the podcast tonight.
Right.
I'd rather you do it on Saturday night. Then that's the thing, barring, and that's usually, at
Right.
least for the last year and a half, it's been my thing. It's like, I don't know what's happening
Right.
in my house from day to day. I mean,
Yep.
it's like last week we had Easy in here. We were loud as shit. And I felt like we were quieter than normal.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she was like, "You guys must have had fun because you were really loud." Now, she didn't fuss about it or
Right.
anything, but she was like, "You guys were really loud." But
Yeah.
like, I kept the dogs in here and
Yeah.
everything.
Now this
because
last
she was-
Saturday we were loud as fuck.
Yeah, but I don't think we were as loud as we are in most. I didn't feel at the time that
Yeah.
we were as loud as normal when she.
Oh no,
says
we
you guys
were. I was
loud.
sitting there thinking, I'm surprised Chris hasn't either come down here or texted
Yeah.
or called
No,
you.
she
out.
stayed in the bedroom, which is on the other side of the
Yeah,
house.
no, we were loud as fuck.
Oh, I knew we were, but I just didn't feel like it was that. But anyway,
Anyway,
congratulations. That is the last thing I'll do. We
Thank
will
you.
Call it a night.
and if you've made it to the end of this episode, congratulations
Well,
to you
two
too.
people have.
Yeah, right.
But one of Krista's cousins has been texting me, messaging me
Yeah.
about, he said, I got some stuff that don't have a warning label y'all need. And he sent me moonshine with peaches in it.
Sweet.
So, and that's Alabama moonshine.
And see, my whole thing, like you always put in the description if it's legal, unopened. I don't give a fuck. Send what you
Sure,
want.
I just do that to cover us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just do that to cover us. I'll probably try most anything that's my.
I will drink anything they send me.
The only issue I have is if someone that knows us, a friend of ours, Nick Jordan, decided to send us something laced with Molly that's going to cause me to lose my job.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
That's the thing.
So unopened might be good. Like the seal,
why
it
I
has
say-
to be commercial,
yes,
and you know.
and if it's sealed, I still need to be legal because
Yeah. No, I
you
got
could
I got
seal a jar of moonshine that you've laced with
Yeah,
Molly.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
How about we just say any commercial alcohol?
that's fine.
I think commercial that should be the
Sure.
key word.
But I don't mind trying moonshine if somebody tries their hand at it. But straight up, I'm gonna
No,
tell you if it's
But if it's moonshine, they need to be here and drink it with us. That's the only way.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I'm gonna open a jar that I don't know what's in it. Like I agree with you because we got some people we know
Sure.
that would drug the fuck like LSD lace shit.
Probably, yeah. If they,
Yeah.
yeah. Sure.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna get fired for any of that shit. You would.
I absolutely.
I could get on this camera and I could fucking snort coke
So exactly
on
what I was
this
gonna say, you
table.
do a line of-
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, not
It's
me.
fine.
Not me.
All right.
One day.
All right.
One
well,
day we will do coke live on.
I'm in.
On that.
I'm in.
One day.
100% in.
My wife is this close to smoking weed.
Yes.
Like she's got her steps that she's going, but I mean, I say
Dude,
she's not.
all you got to do, give her some gluten-free brownies that are laced already. Just don't tell her.
No. But she's
She'll feel
really
so good.
she's really not close
She'll-
to
she'll
smoking
feel
weed.
so
I'm
good.
joking.
She'll
She's
feel so
close. She's close to CBD.
Oh.
Hold on. No. The school system is anti-CBD for their teachers,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
which is crazy.
Delta 8. Well, I guess she still passed a drug test. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have learned tonight, if nothing else, that we are really shitty friends.
Nah, maybe. Well, I mean, by that
BuzzFeed
standard,
standards.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
But
and
whatever.
and I will say, in general, I enjoy pockets of our time together, but as a whole, I think we equally despise and love each other all at the same time.
Well, anyway,
All right.
next week, the Real Fear podcast, the two guys. I really wish I could remember their names, but I don't know.
And I know they spell it.
I know I took
they
money
spell
from
it
one of
R-
them playing
They
poker.
spell it REEL, right?
Yes, 'cause it's
Which makes
movies.
which makes me think of like being scared of fishing.
Oh. So Real Fear podcast guys are going to be with us next week,
Yep.
but they're young, so who knows if something better comes up, they may cancel. But
I
don't
know,
think
right?
so.
Oh, dude.
My understanding is they're excited about coming on.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and why wouldn't you be?
Exactly. You should be. I'm always excited to come on things.
Yeah. God, I come on my thigh,
Stomach,
my toilet seat.
mouth.
Yeah.
No. All right.
No, I don't come on my mouth.
You're missing out.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Whatever. Anyway, next week, Real Fear, and we'll be drinking Bacardi and Coke.
Yep.
Please share us with your friends.
Yep.
And that's it. Till next time.
You guys have a great night.
Bye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.